The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Standard Heating and Air is looking for an accounting administrator and customer service representatives to join their team. Learn more at standardheating.com/careers today.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93
The world's first bad hair day.
Your hair's so messed up. I love what you've done with your hair.
I have two different barbers, and I'm not sure what to do because my original barber got locked up. At first, I'm sending him letters with pictures of me growing out my hair to let him know I'm out here holding him down like I'm supposed to. But on the outside, I still got knees. I started seeing somebody else because I was feeling vulnerable. And now that my barber just got out, I don't know how to tell them about each other because it's like I care about them both.
Have you ever been a customer at a store within a store, for example, a hair salon at ShopRite? If you're getting a cut at ShopRite, you're buying tuna for sure.
Get back to work.
Because it's showtime.
What the hell is this?
Sounds like a Korn ripoff.
Yeah, it's chunky.
It sounded like the Korn tribute band getting their asses kicked in a parking lot. My God, that was a rude awakening for a Monday morning. Please, give me a heads up on that wobble.
Chunky.
Chunky or chunky?
Chunky.
Chunky.
Oh, God.
Chunky.
Another weekend has come and gone, hasn't it, Cubby?
Yep, they go by fast,
They
don't
come
they?
and go quickly.
Every weekend's better than the next, I always think.
You damn right. And once they're gone, they end up spitting up a brand new work week at us. Welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Sorry about that music. We hope you're doing okay.
I mean, it kind of woke me up, to be honest.
That was the worst sounding music I've ever heard in my lifetime.
Oh, I actually kind of liked it.
I kind of liked it.
Oh, God.
Ow. I'm pumped.
There's all kinds of noises coming in. I couldn't identify where they were coming from. Couldn't even identify.
Thick strings. You need thick strings to make sounds like that.
The biggest strings ever.
We're talking like a tow rope.
Yeah. Dude, you're right. You're a musician. You know stuff. Haircuts? Why were we hearing about haircuts? What happened there?
It's National Barber Day.
Barber Day?
I remember when I used to go to one of those. Genetics stopped that for me when I was about 25 years old. But
yeah, I'm trying to think. When was the last time I went and got a haircut?
yeah, for me, I must have been 25. And I often think, how much money have I saved over the years? I mean, it's got in the thousands.
Definitely.
Man.
Well, yeah, I just got a haircut, what was it, 2 weeks ago, and it was $27.
For a hairdo?
For a haircut, yeah.
How
just
often
a little trim ski.
I even forget. How often do you go? Is it weekly? It's been a while for me. Daily? Every other day? How often do you go?
I mean, I think it was 6 months last time I got a haircut.
6 months?
I don't remember,
You're
Josh.
losing it.
I never really developed a pattern. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can't remember either.
There are some folks I know who like to be very regular about getting a new hairdo. I never really developed that in my lifetime.
It's strange that this topic comes up because just the other day, my wife and I were at a little establishment next to our house there, and I noticed for the first time a fancy barber. I'd asked my wife, what is that? Is that a haberdashery? It's got such a fancy name. It's called Gents.
All right.
She tells me, no, that's a like a fancy haircut place for dudes. And so I thought, maybe I should just go in there as a bald man and ask, hey, what can you do with this? Yeah. Okay, I got a wedding this coming Friday. I really want to look nice for this thing. It's a family thing.
You do a nice job with your bald head.
Oh, I was going to get to it yesterday.
You and my brother, both bald, you guys do a wonderful job. It never looks like you've let it go for long at all. Where me, also with a bald head, I don't have the patience for it sometimes, shaving my own skull, right? So every once in a while, I end up kind of looking like my dad, bald on top and then completely disheveled on the sides and back.
The monk.
You never, you and my brother, do you guys hang out together or something when I'm not looking?
I wish we did. We live too far apart.
Cubby's skull never looks like, oh, he's let it go for a couple weeks. You must attack that quite often.
Well, so I bick it. I used to use the electric razor like you do.
Yes.
Right. So now I bick it, and I realized if I don't do it every other day, it hurts like heck.
Oh wow.
So that's
Every
why I keep
other
up.
day.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Pain in the ass. It's funny that you bring up you ran into a fancy schmancy hair salon in your neighborhood, right? Okay. And you mentioned that I shave my skull whenever I have the time and the desire.
It does suck.
With the handheld buzzer
Sure.
thing, right? And it's a pain in the ass. So, a number of months ago, I decided I'd look into having it done by a professional, knowing nothing about the cost or anything. You know, your regular barber shops, well, I shouldn't call them barber shops. Your regular hair cutting joints, this is what I've been told. They won't run a zero guard around your skull. Like it's a policy.
I didn't know that.
Okay, this is what I've heard and been told by one or two hair cutting joints. That maybe because they don't want to cut anybody or whatever. They're afraid, and I don't blame them. They're afraid of hurting somebody because of massive lawsuits. You know how litigious maniacs are these days, right?
Sure.
So they will not give you the right down to the screws buzz cut. They'll bring it pretty close down, but not all the way. Well, I want it all the way down to the screws. So I went looking around town. I made a phone call to a joint in my neighborhood, and it looked kind of fancy on the inside. It looked like it was kind of tailored to dudes.
Yep.
So I called him and I said, look, I'm the kind of guy, I don't have much hair cruising out of the top of my skull anymore. I'm just looking for you do you shave it right down to the screws? And they said yes. And I said, cool. I would like to make an appointment. And they said, well, it's going to be a couple weeks out.
Man.
And I said, really? A couple weeks? Yeah, we're pretty busy. Okay, fine. I don't know anything about the business. I know nothing about. So I said, fine. Sign me. But the person told me on the phone, once we get your original appointment, then we could have you in every 3-4 days. But since you're a new customer, you're going to have to wait 2 weeks. Okay, fine. Go ahead, sign me up. And they said, okay, we got you scheduled for, 2 weeks from now at 3 in the afternoon. I said, well, what does that run me? What do you want in trade if you're going to shave it right down to the screws? And they said something like $175.
Yeah.
What? And I said, goodbye, cancel my appointment in 2 weeks.
My stepdaughter works at one of the fancier salons in Minnesota, if not the fanciest, and some of those can be impressive, some of those fees.
I couldn't believe it. But maybe this is not news to a lot of you. I haven't looked into a haircut in decades, so.
I'd be surprised if most places didn't, because some places still use what's that, straight razor.
The straight edge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which after watching
That's
Sweeney
cool.
Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, I will never request one.
I was just going to ask, have you guys ever done a straight razor?
On my skull?
No, or on
beard.
your beard.
I had it once. and
Nowhere.
I didn't know. It was at like one official barber shop. And it's a place I went since I was a kid, and the dude brought it out one time.
No.
First time I had my head shaved all the way down by a barber.
I had it once. It was absolutely glorious.
It's not 1938 anymore. No one's putting a straight razor anywhere near me.
I think that's for what it's for, right? Nostalgia. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I kind of thought, our great-great-grandparents did stuff like this while drinking a sarsaparilla or something.
Yep.
Yeah, the nice
National-
thing, though, about the electric razors, you can do that head to toe with a very careful stop in the middle. You can go all the way with one of those.
You
things.
can. My little clipper, what did you just call it? Electric razor?
Yeah.
It's been everywhere. It's like that old Johnny Cash song. It's been everywhere.
This
National
is,
Barber Day, you say, huh, Wample?
Yeah.
Drunk Uncle Firefighter Jesus said, married a former hairstylist, haven't paid for a haircut since we started dating in 1995. That's a good
Nice.
hookup.
Yeah, my roommate, when we were in our 20s, he was dating a hairstylist, and she would just bring over the clippers for us, every couple weeks and set us up nicely. It was a great hookup.
There's a bunch of people saying, yes, the straight razor is where it's at. Hot foam they use.
And they're talking about on their skull, on their face.
On their head, yeah. Well, I guess a couple of them didn't really say, but a couple of people said they've had it on their head. I didn't have hot foam.
Oh, I did. And that's what made it so nice. It was like a massage on your face, and it just came out so clean.
With the mental health problems in this country, no one's using a straight razor on me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be interested in that either. Yeah, I think I'd pass.
Scares the hell out of me. Well, that's just great. I hope barbers are doing well these days. I've always had a lot of respect for the barbers. You know.
I heard
that was one of the occupations when I was a kid, Josh. I really looked up to the barber in our neighborhood.
Well, yeah, me too. So it was an actual barber? These guys...
Pardon me?
The place you went to was an actual barber?
Yes.
Yeah, it was great. It was a family-run business, this one. I wonder if they're still around. They had the striped pole out front and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And
That's how you know it's legit.
Of
any
course.
game you want to watch, it's on. Sports Illustrated. Did they have the Sports Illustrated football phone? You're damn right they did. That place was great.
There wasn't much of a family vibe in the barber shop that I went to as a kid. There wasn't much of a family. These guys were heavy drinkers, a lot of dirty jokes. I thought they were just the coolest cats in town.
Yeah, this was a family business.
You could smell the hooch coming off of this sumbitch when he was cutting your hair. It was a beautiful thing.
Dad started it, maybe 8 brothers, or excuse me, 8 sons, that are part of that. That's actually the first time I realized you can have hair on the outside of your ears. Because the guy I went to, he took an electric razor and shaved my earlobe. I'm like, what the hell was that? I thought he missed. I thought maybe he had a couple of shots or something beforehand. He's like, oh, yeah, you had a few pretty long ear hairs there. I had no idea you could get them there.
Oh, yeah, that electric razor that I use, like I said, like the Johnny Cash song, it goes everywhere. I push that thing far into my ear hole. I do. It's not doctor recommended how far I push.
Oh, I do. I'm talking about the outside, like your ear rim.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, all that stuff.
Why does that grow so fast?
On the ear, in the ear.
I've been getting a lot of nose hair lately.
It can happen. I completely skull F myself with that damn thing.
Ashley, I wonder if you have any experience with this. I'd read once that the longest relationship a woman has is with the person who does her hair.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I recently had to change, and that's hard. That's heartbreaking. The hairstylist I usually go to, she developed like an allergy against bleach or whatever they use to highlight my hair, and so she can't do my hair anymore. I miss her a lot.
You realize that she just doesn't like you, right?
No.
You bought that story about how she has an allergy to the bleach or something that's in your hair, so she can't cut your hair anymore?
Yeah, she did it for so long that it started to like make her break out in rashes on her hands and stuff.
Josh, tell her.
Ashley, did you not realize that your ex-husband said the same thing? He developed a bleach allergy and couldn't be married to you anymore?
Come on, Ashley. She just doesn't like you anymore.
Yeah,
Every place Dana's been fired from, and there are a lot, developed a bleach allergy and had to let him go.
I can't believe you fell for that. And it was wrong of this woman not just to be honest with you and just tell you, I don't like you, I don't want to cut your hair anymore. That was a cheap move on her part. All right. There we go. By Friday of this week, we'll be pouring our fat asses aboard that big old party boat and running our yaps for a couple hours with the brother and by damn sisterhood. Our Rock the River boat party is this here Friday night. Be listening for your last crack at tickets today, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow we'll have a couple more. What do you think, Josh?
I would think this whole week they'll probably hook us up.
By Friday, it'll be too late. We set sail at 7 p.m. Friday night, and your behavior on board determines whether you make it back to the dock at the end of the ride. We don't enjoy tossing folks into the drink, but we've done it before, and we will again.
Now, right before you kick them off the side, bleach allergy!
Man. Some poor bastard's going to be treading water in the Mississippi going, another bleach allergy?
Again?
This happens to me all the friggin'. Everyone's got an allergy to the bleach that I put in my...
They got to get a recall on that stuff. It's killing relationships.
Other prizes we have for the taking this morning? You might be asking, what about other prizes? There's an Extreme concert Sunday. Extreme, you know who I'm talking about?
Of course.
Yeah. Well, Josh knows who I'm talking about. Do the rest of you know?
One of the greatest to pick up a guitar of all time.
Extreme. Next Tuesday, Megadeth.
That's pretty awesome.
And you guys are going to kick out of this. Friday night, hanging out at my neighborhood bar. gal friend of mine walks up to me and says, "You got a line on," I can't even say this with a straight face. She says, "You got any way of getting your hands on some tickets to go see Cypress Hill?"
That's going to be difficult.
No, we've been giving those away.
No,
I know.
And I said, "Are you serious?" And she said, "Yeah, I want to go see Cypress Hill." I said, "I'll make a couple of phone calls. And thank you for asking."
I'll send you some links.
Oh! Cypress Hill. I think they're playing in St. Cloud or something.
Yeah, it's at that new Ledge amphitheater.
Don't you think that's great that someone walked up on me and asked me for tickets to Cypress Hill?
You didn't see that one coming, did you?
No.
Yeah, I've never once been asked for. I mean, I've been asked for like rock adjacent shows, ones that could be close, maybe 93X plays or something like that.
Hits from the bong, Cubby.
No, we play that song.
Insane in the Membrane.
Insane in the Brain.
She wants to go see Cypress Hill.
March Madness Jesus wants to know if she's insane in the brain.
Who, the lady that asked me? She might be. I thought that was great. And I hope I can hook her up, really. I'm excited. I'm excited to hook her up because she was so pumped about it. She said, "Yeah, that's who I used to rock to back years ago." I said, "All right." She's the one I told you about that she had to go to the ladies' prison for a little while.
Oh,
Yeah.
how was that?
Well, she had a great story. She had to go to the ladies' prison for a while. I don't know what happened. Some kind of accident happened. It wasn't her, right? There was some bleach in somebody's hair.
Yeah.
She had to.
Oh, yeah.
There was something
Changes lives.
Yeah.
Yep.
She had to go to the ladies' prison. The best story she told me from her time in the ladies' prison was she said when she came out, she had her hair all braided.
I was just going to ask if that's what happened to her.
And her husband at the time, when he was there to pick her up when she got out of the joint, her husband said, "Well, what the hell did they do to you in there, right?" She said it was totally out of her control. She checked into the ladies' prison. She's going to be there for X amount of days. And she was just kind of sitting in the general area. And 4 or 5 women just walked up and sat their chairs behind her and started braiding her hair. And she said, "Oh, no, thank you." And they said, no, just sit still. We're just going to do this. And she said, "But I don't want." And they said, just sit still. And they braided her hair for her. I thought that was the greatest story.
It's like she went to Cabo her senior year of high school.
Oh, my gosh.
Bunch of wristbands.
I wish I could have seen her with that look. Man, that would have been awesome. Yes, Cypress. Thank you, Josh, for the report that you sent me over the weekend on the 5 best places to see fall foliage in America.
It's one of my favorite times of year, and we get quite a few texts hoping that you and I go on a fall foliage tour to look at some. We'll drive down to Red Wing. Maybe we'll rent a couple of Harleys, and we'll or just one. We could just go on one.
Oh, there you go.
And take a look at some of the leaves as they change.
Sounds awesome.
All of what you just said is very possible once we retire and move on from this miserable business. At that point, Cubby, I'll go anywheres with you.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it? For me,
I would just enjoy being retired. You could take me anywhere once that happens.
Could we go to an apple farm and pick some apples?
Hell yes, dude.
Nice.
It'll all be different for me when this is over.
Could we have a hot apple cider together?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
You could pour hot apple cider on my pecker.
Hay rides off the table?
It does not. You could name anything right now, and I will. It'll be a totally different mindset. Totally different mindset.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Yeah, Josh sent me a report on the 5 best places to see fall foliage in America. All right, there's probably 4 or 5 of you out there going, "Oh, well, where are they?" But I'm not retired yet, so I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to tell you.
You could just screensaver. That's the way to do it. If you want to see some beautiful, just look up fall foliage. You can get a nice screensaver on your phone or your computer.
I'll tell you. Fine, I'll tell you. One of the best places in America to see fall foliage, what's the line again? Where the beer flows like wine. Aspen, Colorado. What's that line from Dumb and Dumber?
Something about salmon?
Yeah. Where the
Capistrano,
the salmon of Capistrano. Aspen, Colorado, okay?
Okay.
See, I've lost you already. You
I
don't
believe
care.
we've been
You don't
there.
care. Tell me you care.
Someplace warm, a place where the beer flows like wine, where beautiful women instinctively flock like the salmon of Capistrano. I'm talking about a little place called Aspen.
1994. What movie? Dumb and Dumber. Number 4, Leavenworth, Washington. Number 3, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It was, 68683. What song am I quoting here? Not 68683. Eliminate that. 651-989-9393. What song? It was Gatlinburg in mid-July, just hit town and my throat was dry. Thought I'd stop and have myself a brew. What song? Text me. That's one of them, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Number 2, Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Number 1, the Adirondacks in New York.
So we got to travel, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of work.
Kind of wondering when you got invited on this trip, but sure.
What's this? We're gonna have to.
You like how you and my wife went on separate trips to Colorado?
Uh-huh.
You and us can go on separate trips to Colorado.
And Josh also sent me a damn report that says fall colors will be worth the wait this year, experts say.
Who am I to argue with the experts? Sounds great.
Today's version of me, Josh, this aggravates me. Retired, once you and I are retired and hand in hand doing whatever we want to do all day, every day together, I will go to these things with you. I'll go to every apple orchard and stupid fall tour you want to go on.
I look forward to that.
Just 2 words, though. 2 words. You're driving.
Hey, I love to drive. No problem.
Thank you, everyone who texted in with the answer to the song lyrics that I dumped on you. Gatlinburg, mid-July, just hit town. Throat was dry. Thought I'd stop and have myself a brew. So many of you. That's just a beautiful thing, how many of you know the correct answer. I bet none of you guys know the correct answer.
I suck at lyrics, but that's an easy one, I thought. It's Boy Named Blue. I think that's the name of the song.
You're close.
A Boy Named Blue?
No.
Your Boy Named Blue.
No one over
You're
there?
my boy, Blue.
Not You're my boy, Blue. Not Little Boy Blue. Anyone over there?
A Boy Named Sue.
A Boy Named Sue.
Sorry, my
Johnny
bad.
Cash.
What's A Boy Named Blue? I want credit for that.
I don't know. It's something that you might have to write yourself.
Ashley, by the way, you said you don't argue with experts. That is so 2015. You got to start arguing with experts.
Yeah.
gotta get with it.
That's all we do now is
Yeah.
argue with experts because every one of us individually is an expert now.
So we've all done our own research.
I think it's adorable that you haven't come around to that line of thought yet. Tell us really what happened with your stylist.
Oh, no.
Oh, no,
I
Ashley
miss
just
her.
said that everybody on Facebook is an expert. All right, you should start arguing with experts.
Okay.
What happened with this hairstylist? Tell us the story again. You said something about you used to go see this hairstylist all the time, but then she told you that there's some kind of bleach in your hair that she's allergic to and she can no longer do anything with your hairdo.
Yeah, she just can't work with bleach.
I'm sorry that she couldn't be honest with you.
I didn't know that wasn't your normal hair color. I'm terrible at that kind of thing.
I just get it highlighted, so some of it is my real hair color.
But you're
It's, like,
you're
mixed
blonde,
together.
right?
Yeah.
Oh. So sometimes I've accused someone of being blonde, and my wife and stepdaughter tell me I'm an idiot, and they're not blonde. But to me, they're blonde. But I guess they're not.
Yeah, that wasn't the truth, and I'm sorry that this lady couldn't tell you the truth. It reminds me of that old story. God, this was so chickenish. It was just the most pathetic move. Back in high school, you know, I had the one buddy who was Mr. Rockstar. You know, always had to make a dramatic entrance to every beer party. He was that guy. And when we got in a car, an automobile, and went to a beer party, he always wanted to make sure he had the coolest of the cool in the car with him. So when we got there, everyone would say, whoa, in his mind at least, everyone would say, whoa, look, it's Donnie and Ronnie and little Tim, right? As opposed to us getting out the car and the people might say, oh, there's one cool guy and then a couple other guys we don't really know. That's how, what's the word, Josh? Just how, I mean, it's not materialistic, but just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just everything had to be a show. Everything had to be big and make a statement, right? So we're hanging out at my house, pre-gaming it. We're heading to a big beer party. I don't know, 8 blocks away, right? And Rockstar dude's like, okay, let's go. I'm driving. Donnie, Ronnie, little Tim, you guys are coming with me. And this one friend of ours who, he was kind of a dork. You know, he was not the kind of guy that walked into a party and everyone said, whoa, right? He was just your average. And that guy says to Rockstar guy, he says, well, can I jump in with you? And my buddy says, no, you don't want to do that. And dork guy says, well, why? All you got in your car is Donnie and Ronnie and little Tim. I could easily. And Rockstar guy says, you're better off jumping in with somebody else. We're kind of going the roundabout way.
Not very good at coming up with excuses.
We're going 8 blocks, and somehow you're going the roundabout. You see what I'm saying, Ashley? He didn't have the balls to just tell him the truth. He didn't have the balls to say, you're not cool enough to be in my car.
You know what? This is what I'm going to do for you, Ashley.
What?
So this is what my stepdaughter does for a living. Exactly what you're talking about. I'm going to text her first and ask her, hey, do you have any sort of bleach allergy? And if she says no, she's trapped, and then you can start going to her.
Perfect. Sounds great.
What a cheap move that would be, but I like your style. Okay, it's going to be a great day. It's Monday, I think. So that means coming up at 7:30, we'll talk to Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder. Some of you probably want to beat off to that ball game yesterday. What was that?
Definitely do.
Right.
Currently beating.
I don't know which ball game you're talking about, but yes.
You know, it's going to be something special. It's going to be a fun day. We appreciate you hanging out with us, and I appreciate you knowing that it was a boy named Sue. We'll be right back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
Are you looking to improve your work-life balance with excellent benefits like 401k match and even tuition reimbursement? Standard Heating and Air is looking for an accounting administrator and customer service representatives to join their team. Learn more at standardheating.com/careers today.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen here. Join me and my compadre, Chris Brockman, every Monday on the Overreaction Monday podcast.
A 2023 last place team will win a playoff game this year.
I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals to be that team. If you gave me
safe bet.
If you said 2 last place teams, I might say that's an overreaction. Come react or overreact with us. This one makes it much easier. So thank you for making it easier.
Well, tune in next week.
Overreaction Monday, wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
I'll be damned, Josh. We have a repeat offender to lead off today's Stupid News report.
Some people can't learn a lesson.
Yeah, it's fair to say.
Which is something I'll learn someday. Someday.
This gal here, I have to say, though, she has found a place in my heart. There's something about her that draws me in, by God. There is. One thing is for sure. She cannot be stopped when she has a dildo in hand. And I dig that. I dig that. For the second time in 2 years, my lady has been arrested for a dildo-related domestic battery. Look at me look at me. I'm blushing over here.
I know you are.
Man.
You're glowing. I haven't seen you this happy in a long time. I haven't seen you this happy since the day you forgot you were recently married. And then there was a change when I had to tell you, no,
happiness was short-lived.
You're happily married. If I was ever going to be assaulted by an item in the house, it would be kind of cool to get hit with a glass dildo. That's made out of the same stuff you put a lasagna in, right?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's wonderful. Yeah, you're exactly right.
I learned that on this show.
It's, I can't think of it. There's a word for it.
Not Teflon. I just had it and I forgot.
Yeah, well, you'll get it. But I got a crush on this gal. I do. She goes by the name of Chelsea White. She's 35 years old. Let me restate that. She's irresistible and 35 years old. The story here says that Chelsea and her stupid boyfriend were in their kitchen a night or two ago, about to have something or another to eat, when her boyfriend discovered that his missing glass dildo was in Chelsea's backpack. So naturally, he was all like, "Hey, woman, what you doing with my glass dildo in your bag?"
By the way, the Brotherhood and Sisterhood are telling us Pyrex is what we were looking for.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
Wapple, that's
Thank
enough.
you.
The bell.
Wapple. Oh, sorry.
Dude sees his missing glass dildo in his girlfriend's bag. And he's all like, what gives with that? And that's all it took for the two of them to start throwing punches upside each other's heads. And my sweet baby, Chelsea, she went ahead and threw that glass dildonk at her boyfriend. She missed. The fake pecker smacked up against a door, and damn it, the noise woke up their little baby.
Oh, no.
Isn't it nice that they have a child?
Yeah, that's
great. Very healthy.
They seem to be in a good spot.
It'd be so great if it went through the drywall, because I'd love to see what it left behind.
Mm-hmm.
Just a penis-shaped hole. Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. They already have those, and there's a name for it, too, isn't there? And people make money on the other side of those.
They
Who's
do.
back there?
There's a lot of glory involved.
Who's back there?
Doesn't matter who's back there, Cubby, and you know it. So next thing you know, the cops are in the mix, and Chelsea got taken away from her child and her boyfriend and her boyfriend's glass dildo, and she got taken off to jail ski for domestic battery.
Yeah, you can't just go around throwing dildos at people.
So what makes this story even more worthwhile is that Chelsea has been arrested in the past for a similar incident where she and her man got into an altercation over a dildo. Maybe you remember this, maybe you don't. The first dildo dust-up was similar to this one. She and her boyfriend tuned each other up good over who was the rightful owner of a big, fat, fake Johnson. I don't know if it was the same glass dildo as this one we're talking about now. I don't even know if it was the same boyfriend.
I thought it was her brother, if I'm remembering right.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was something weird like that. I should have looked this up.
The old classic brother-sister dildo fight.
You know, my sister's coming into town this weekend. Maybe I can orchestrate one.
Let us know on that.
I haven't seen her in a few years, so yeah, maybe we can start something.
There was a prior dildo fight. And again, I don't know if it was the same dildo or the same boyfriend. Josh thinks it might have been her brother.
Maybe I'm misremembering, but I swear it was even goofier than this one.
My memory was that it was a boyfriend, but it doesn't matter. In the first disaster where Chelsea was arrested, she kicked and bit the dude involved. It was ugly. So, my foxy lady Chelsea was on probation for that original dildo brawl. So that's likely going to make things even worse for her fine ass this time around. I'll wait for her as long as it takes. She turns me on, Cubby. I like her passion. I like her spirit. I love how serious her sex toy game is.
Yeah, I like that there's always access to a sex toy.
She's got a serious sex toy game. It's not jokes. It's not playing games.
I'd have to run to a store for something like that.
Yeah, and
I don't even remember the last time I saw one. I think it was in this building. It's the last time I've seen something like that.
A dildo?
Yeah. And I'm not making a joke about coworkers, although that would fit. I mean, legitimately, for whatever reason, we had a lot of sex toys around here.
Yeah.
And then we hired an HR department, and that was all she wrote.
I purposely glossed over, just so I could see the text messages pile up. I purposely glossed over the fact that the dude was the primary dildo owner. Just so I could see the text pile up of everyone saying, wait a minute, it was his dildo? Yeah, I guess. There's all types out there. Why can't a guy have his own glass dildo? People are texting in, what's he doing with that damn thing? I don't know.
Yeah, mind your business.
Maybe it was a gift she just didn't appreciate.
Don't you love her? No, you don't love her. I love her. Chelsea. Here's a dude who apparently is a pastor. He is. Now, I'm not a religious person, but this dude doesn't behave the way I would expect from a supposed religious type of feller. There's probably a better way to say that. He doesn't behave the way I would expect a man of God to behave. He's a 57-year-old pastor by the name of Dwayne Waden.
Hey, close.
Dwayne Waden. He's over there in Flair Country, Wapple, North Carolina.
North Carolina.
This is some pretty disturbing behavior. Dude had some kind of dispute with a cook at the neighborhood McDonald's restaurant. Waden is accused of assaulting the cook. They say he tried to shove the cook's damn face into the friggin' deep fryer.
Oh my gosh. That's awful.
Oh.
No.
Chris Boshin would never do that.
No, Chris Boshin would behave much more respectfully. Waden, the pastor, pled guilty in court over this effing gangbang. Now, here's the deal. Waden's friggin' wife, LaToya is her name. She works over there at the McDonald's. She called her husband up one day and told him, Dwayne is her husband, she called him and told him that employees were, quote, disrespecting her. And you know how broad a statement that is these days. There are a lot of people who have a strange definition of what respect and disrespect is. So I don't know exactly what was going on there, but his friggin' wife, again, LaToya, called Dwayne and said her coworkers at McDonald's were disrespecting her. She wanted Dwayne to come over there and straighten some folks out. Oh, and he showed up, by damn he did, and he started smacking folks around like a pastor would do. The cook I was telling you about, a dude called Theo Garlington, he took a punch or two to the mush from Dwayne, the pastor, and he got choked a little bit. He was trying to choke him out, and then Dwayne started to push the cook's head into the deep fryer. Man. That'll kill a guy, right?
Mm-hmm. I'd rather take a couple of dildos to the face all day, every day, than something like that. Wapple, you worked next to one of those. You ever get like some splashback?
Oh, all the time. That would suck so bad.
Dude!
I mean, like if you made bacon on the stove, you've had that happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
God, I can't even imagine plunging your face in there.
I've watched The Toxic Avenger, Christ, 200-300 times. You can't put somebody's skull in the deep... Anyway, so other workers jumped in and stopped the pastor from deep frying the dude's skull for him, and he was arrested. That's insanity right there.
Imagine he just starts breading his face. What's this for? Oh, you'll find out.
About ready to make me the biggest McNugget of all time. Hilariously, now this court case detailed that the so-called man of God, Mr. Waden, has 5 prior convictions. That's cute, right?
What a good person.
Josh, you ought to swing by my church on some Sunday in the future. You ought to see my pastor. He does a great job. And Josh would say, well, what about the guy? Well, he only has 5 prior convictions.
For a while, I went to a church which was for reformed convicts, including the pastor.
Oh, wow. Convenient.
What's it? I thought you said comedian.
Oh,
I was like, yeah, he was kind of funny.
What did Dana say?
Convenient.
I thought he said, and I thought he said comedian. Yeah, it was not too far from our house, and my wife knew the pastor. Awesome dude. I made a couple of bad choices. He's trying to repent for those. Didn't last too long, that church. About a year.
Somebody stole it?
Yeah. The collection plate, it started, and then it eventually got less and less. It's supposed to go the other way.
It never came back. That collection plate never came back. All right, something called the IG Nobel Prize.
It's a IG.
Oh, okay. Something called the IG. Are you playing with me?
No, it really is IG.
Nobel Prize has been handed out. Actually, from what I understand, multiple IG Nobel Prizes are dished out every year. Have you heard of this before? The young people in the other room?
No.
All right, neither had I until I read this sumbitch. They dish out a pile of them every year. It sounds important, but I found out it really isn't as important as it sounds. Here's the deal. These awards, which have no actual affiliation to the Nobel Prize, these awards aim to, quote, celebrate the unusual is how you say it. They celebrate the unusual and the imaginative scientific discoveries of the year. These scientific discoveries are meant to make people laugh and make people think. Like that pastor that Josh used to go see. He'd make you laugh and he'd make you think a little bit.
He would.
Yeah. Are you following where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
They're like sarcastic scientific awards. I mean, real research was done, but it's nothing terribly serious. It's supposed to create a couple of laughs for you. So, one of those IG, what does IG stand for? Does it matter, Josh?
I thought I'd heard before it stood for I guess. Like, I guess this is a Nobel Prize.
Oh.
I could be wrong, but that's what I'd heard.
I was thinking maybe IG stood for Ignatowski.
Wouldn't that be something?
What television show?
Taxi. What does a yellow light mean?
Slow down.
That's one of the greatest bits. We should post that.
Maybe the greatest bit in the history of, how do you call that, network television.
Yeah.
What does a yellow light mean from Taxi? Jim Ignatowski, played by Christopher Lloyd, taking his driving test. All right, so one of the IG Nobel Prizes was handed over to a group of Japanese scientists that discovered, and I thought I'd heard of this before, but it could be the liquor talking. These Japanese scientists discovered many mammals can breathe through their anuses.
The Ig Nobel Physiology Prize is awarded for discovering that many mammals are capable of breathing through their anus.
First and foremost, thank you so much for believing the potential of anus for breathing potential.
I wouldn't like the exhale necessarily, but being able to breathe through your anus could come in handy.
I can breathe through mine.
You can?
You just have to look really, really closely.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You got to get real close.
I
and then
love
you can see
death.
it.
I don't think you'd ever lie to me, but I need to challenge this.
Yeah, I
got to try it out.
Yep, I can breathe through mine. You just got to get really.
Ashley, can you think of maybe a reason that would be pretty cool for a gentleman to have that ability?
No.
You can't?
Nope.
Well, I'm not going to spell it out.
Even I know where he's going with that, and I'm opposed to this 100%.
Oh, I'm a big fan. Big fan. Really, Ashley, you can't, or you're just saying no?
No, I can't. No. My mind is, it's not going there.
By the way, was that audio of their awards program where everyone's laughing about anuses? And okay, that's cute.
I actually watched about half hour of from a couple years back.
Oh, man, dude.
It's entertaining.
I liked the one guy's laugh at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was like Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
For breathing potential.
Do we still have audio of that dude who really exhaled with his anus once while his friends laughed and he said "iwe iwe" before?
Oh, yeah, we got that.
That was the greatest.
I'll never get old.
The Chinese butt fire. Where
Yep.
the guy's flatulence started on fire, and then his butt started on fire.
That was a big fire, too.
Those guys still, they knock it out of the park every time. Okay, people are texting in saying IG stands for Instagram. Do they
I've
need...
heard that, too.
Yeah, but that's not what it is.
Because it's been around for a while, so.
They
this is
say
before Instagram.
Yeah, they say it has something to do with the word. There's like an actual word that's ignoble. It's spelled IGNOBLE.
Oh, okay.
So it's supposed to be like a play on both words, I guess.
Which both words?
Like the IG and the noble. I have no idea. It makes no sense when you look it up, but it's nothing cool.
CFH bass player Jesus says he knows people who can talk out their ass. Maybe it's not that fascinating that people can breathe out there. Ashley, you still can't come up with a reason why how you could benefit from a man being able to breathe in and out of his ass. Fair enough.
No, yeah.
This Japanese research team, the ones who studied mammal anuses and won the prize, they say that this potentially offers an alternative way of getting oxygen into critically ill patients if ventilator and artificial lung supplies run low, like they did when COVID came to town a few years ago. So congratulations, fellas. You did it. Some of the other, bear with me here, some of the other prize winners this year, some of the other Ig Nobel winners. Again, this is supposed to be the weirdest and dumbest scientific discoveries for the year 20, then 24. What is this? Okay. A team of researchers did 350,000 coin flips and found out it's not really a 50-50 situation. Coins are slightly more likely to land on the same side they started on. Remember that, by God, the next time you and your buddy are trying to decide who's driving. This year's Peace Prize went to a study that looked at whether you could get pigeons inside missiles to help drive them.
Gosh, I'm just picturing them like in those old-timey hats with goggles that they used to wear, you know.
Scarf flapping, in the wind.
Heck yeah.
And finally, because most of this stuff isn't terribly interesting, the Chemistry Prize went to a study that used a process called chromatography. They used a process called chromatography to make drunk and sober worms race each other.
Glad we have our top researchers on such important subjects.
I think it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's nothing but fun. All right, an inspiring story. Now then. Maybe some of you could use a story like this today. An inspiring story. It's about a dude from down there in Mississippi. Got himself arrested. Embarrassed the balls off of himself. A couple years ago, 3-4 years ago. But the good news is he hated himself so much afterwards that it forced him to put down the drugs and the hooch and become a better person. By damn.
That is inspiring.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
We started out with people who couldn't learn a lesson, and this guy, he did.
That's right, Cubby. Here's the story. In September of 2019, this dude, a grown man by the name of David Hobbs, he was arrested in an alley in his hometown of Clarksdale, Mississippi, for breaking into a backyard shed. I don't know what he was doing. He didn't know what he was doing. He was drugged up and drunk off his ass. Unfortunately, at the time, when he pulled this caper off, he was dressed as the comic book character Captain America.
Even had the fake muscles and everything. Now he's got real muscles. But
yeah, he's built.
So, of course, the next day, pictures of David dressed like a 6-year-old on Halloween. Pictures went viral. He's sitting there looking pathetic at the cop shop, wearing handcuffs, just looking ridiculous. He was all over television and the local newspapers, everyone laughing at him. Look at this prick. He's 37, 38 years old, acting like this, dressed as Captain Friggin' America, drunk and drugged up off his... It embarrassed him. He said, I truly felt as if my life was over. All these people were talking about me, making fun of me, and I'm like, man, what an embarrassment I am to my family. He says one of the few people not laughing was his childhood bro, a dude called Trey.
Trey's cool.
I like that name.
I do too.
I'm not a fan. His old friend Trey, who Hobbs hadn't seen, David, the Captain America drunk guy, David hadn't seen him in 20 years. Trey steps up and says, look, I own a joint called Good Landing Recovery, a treatment program. So Trey let David complete the program for free, and that proved to be a success. David has now been sober for 5 years.
Woohoo.
And David now looks back at that infamous picture of his arrest, and he looks at it differently. It was the worst day of his life, but it became his best day because it woke his ass up. Good for this guy for being able to look in the mirror and say, okay, I'm a jackass and I need to do something about it. Many, many, many people can never bring themselves to admit that.
Well, and also, I mean, unfortunately, there's some people now who would think, I'm famous. I'm infamous.
You're right.
All
definitely.
the worldwide attention this story got back
You're
in the day.
damn right. And they would use that and, oh, God. Yeah.
Yep.
In the video, when the CBS News talked to him, they were showing headlines from around the world with his mugshot in there. Yeah, some people would definitely use that to get a podcast.
Yep. One more comment here from David, who 5 years ago, he was a grown man wearing a friggin' Captain America outfit, breaking into sheds and getting in the papers. He said, what was meant to destroy me actually was the stepping stone to rebuilding me. If you still have breath in your lungs and you're still alive, there's a chance you can turn it around. You hear that, Wapple?
Mm-hmm.
Inspirational.
Josh, cut that quote out and go hand it to Wapple. Yeah, I'm just going to
How you feeling today, Wapple?
highlight this and give it to...
I think Wapple gave himself a concussion over the weekend.
Oh, my God, yeah.
What are you talking about?
Dude, have you seen my forehead yet?
I've seen your baseball, but not your forehead.
Oh, man.
What's wrong with your forehead?
I have this huge scrape on my face.
What did you do?
Of them. I lost my keys. I was looking for them on Saturday, and then I took a digger right into a picnic table.
You must have had a couple cervezas or something.
Yeah,
that's
definitely
hilarious.
Or are you like
Great.
a drug or two?
He's carrying soup is what he was doing.
That's dangerous.
Why didn't you call me?
Oh, man.
You lost your keys. You're looking around in the dark. You're drunk, looking for your keys, and you ran into a picnic table.
Yep.
Well, that's not so bad.
Came out of nowhere. Just ate it.
Came out of nowhere.
Just scorpioned right
Put
on
a
top
picnic
of it.
table here.
Yeah.
I bet the sound was awesome.
Oh, I bet it was.
Did it create a lot of fun for everyone else at the party?
Oh, yeah. Everyone else was laughing.
Well, then
there you
that's
go.
great. Then what are you feeling so bad about?
Just stupid. Oh.
It's way worse.
Still can't find my keys.
Oh, no.
You never found your keys?
Nope.
Now that's funny.
Nope, they're gone.
Oh, that sucks.
Wapple, who's your buddy? Who let you in this morning?
You?
That's right.
Hell yeah. That's my guy.
That sucks to lose your keys, but...
Could have been worse. Could have been my phone. Could have been my wallet.
Yeah. I mean, if you had spares, then you're in good shape.
Yeah.
Because the wallet and the phone would be a lot worse.
Yep.
I don't think I've never lost my keys.
I've lost them temporarily, just around the house, but never
Wapple,
forever.
to make you...
I've never lost my keys, and I usually don't lose stuff, so I was just shocked at myself and hating myself all weekend.
I know one thing that took you 24 years to lose. So that's true. you do have a habit of not losing things.
You probably feel bad and you think you're a jackass and everything, Wapple. I know guys who just, they'd lose their wallets all the damn time when we were young. Set them up on top of the car when they're pumping gas, right, and then drive away. And it's not that big of a damn deal. I know one dude who was fishing in the middle of friggin' nowhere, Canada, right? And the dumb bastard put his keys in his front shirt pocket.
It's a very convenient place to put them.
And then someone in the boat said, "Hey, can you lean over this? Is the anchor caught on?" So, well, let me look over the side of the boat. Plump down to the bottom of the lake.
Yeah, one of my kids, her phone's at the bottom of the Apple River somewhere. Not sure where that one
Boy,
was.
a lot of phones down there.
Yeah.
Right, worse.
A lot of regret down there, too.
The worst part about it, too, like, before I left, I was like, man, I'm just going to leave my keys at this guy's house. Should have done that.
That can happen. It happens, dude. Real quick, just last week, I believe, I was talking about those cheap as balls Halloween costumes out there where you just simply pull the damn thing over your head, you wear it like a shirt. It's usually made out of some really uncomfortable foam or something like that. It's also usually something really lame, like a slice of pizza or something. You guys know what I'm saying at this point.
Yep.
Here's the deal. This is really lame, too. Walmart has a thruple costume for Halloween. It's a 3-person s'mores costume. Do you see where they're going with that?
Yes.
This is up on 93x.com. It's cute.
So one guy is, well, you can piece it out however you want. If maybe you're an all-girl thruple, maybe you're an all-guy thruple. But in this case, I think in the picture, one dude is chocolate, one dude's a graham cracker, and then the girl is a marshmallow. Ha, 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 ha.
It would have been funnier if the thruple costume was an Eiffel Tower.
Yeah,
That has to exist.
I see where you're going
I
with
wonder
that.
if anybody's going to use this as a way to broach the topic of a threesome with their significant other.
Smart.
I don't know.
We do need a third. Out of curiosity, what third should we pick?
Walmart wants $27 in trade for this. It's so bad.
It's a pretty good deal.
Well, yeah. But have you seen what this thing...
Yeah.
Would you show up in public with that friggin' outfit on?
No.
Hell no. Did you folks know that more than half of young people either want an open or polyamorous relationship?
I know someone who left their family for one, yes.
That is scandalous.
They tried to make that work, and the spouse said, that's not going to work. And then they said, all right, I'll find that somewhere else.
Wow.
Polyamorous.
And he or she left their partner to seek a polyamorous relationship.
Affirmative.
Do you know how that's going for them?
You know what? It's going better for the one that left than the one that didn't leave. I can tell you that.
Yeah. People believe that those types of relationships provide fuller sexual and romantic life experiences. One sexual partner simply can't fulfill their needs. Oh, I agree with all that. I do. But the costume's really stupid.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
I tell it to teams all the time, momentum takes one play. I mean, that's it. That's all it takes to change it. And, we just, obviously have had some opportunities that, as we continue to work and continue to pour into each other and the opportunity we have.
All right, thank you, Coach. You are to leave the building by the nearest exit on.
Man, nothing's going right for that dude.
No. It's such a metaphor for their season.
He goes by the name of Mike Norvell, and he's the head coach of Florida State's college football team. Now, I guess they suck. And Saturday, he has a little press conference there after, I guess, Florida State lost again. And in the middle of him trying to explain how terrible things are, the friggin' fire alarm goes off in the building. And he tries to fight through the rest of his statement while this annoying alarm is going off. People are saying, if you watch that video, it's heavy on symbolism. Heavy on symbolism, they said, Cubby.
Yeah, I don't know. He must have just, at that point, thought, I hope I die in this fire.
Yeah. I'm going down with this building.
He didn't pause. He didn't look around like, should we leave? Nothing.
All right, again, I'm forced to say what I said last week. Most folks who follow the NFL said the Vikings were going to be garbage. And I was hoping that they would be. I have a hell of a lot more fun during the football season when the Vikings are garbage. But they look like a pretty good football team.
Yeah.
They look like a pretty good football team, Cubby.
They sure did. They look like, at times, a great football team.
They beat the San Francisco 49ers, whoever they are.
And then that fumble at the 1-yard line, they look like the Vikings.
Mm-hmm. No, very much so. It was very Vikings-like.
Yeah.
Somebody fumbled at the 1-yard line?
Yeah.
Oh, where the guy was going and then it fell out of his...
we got another touchdown. Oh, no.
That can happen. I mean, the final was 23-17, but it really wasn't that close of a game. Like you were saying, they coughed up the ball close to the end zone it would have been a blowout. So where is this garbage? I want garbage.
Oh, it'll come.
I sure hope it
You really
doesn't.
think it's going to... Will they turn to garbage?
Yeah, probably at some point.
Come on, don't say that. I don't want them to turn to garbage.
No, I don't either.
Although that was pretty scary when Justin Jefferson went down there.
Yeah,
he was milking it. They haven't lost a game all year, the Vikings. They're supposed to be garbage. We're going to find out what's going on here. We're going to talk to Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder about this because they said the Vikings would be garbage. Everybody's telling me they're garbage.
I was at a party Saturday night, and a couple guys were saying that the 49ers were going to blow the Vikings out, and we'll learn what the Vikings are. I haven't rubbed that in quite yet. I should just send them the score or something.
Give those guys a phone call. And then the Twins looked terrible on Friday and Saturday night. Thankfully, they got it together yesterday and beat the Cincinnati Reds by a final of 9-2. And now tonight they start a huge series. We'll get into all this nonsense with Brad Ryder and Randy Shaver. Cubby's News, by God, look at him over there. Look at him.
Hey.
His news report is coming up next.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
Are you looking to improve your work-life balance with excellent benefits like 401k match and even tuition reimbursement? Standard Heating and Air is looking for an accounting administrator and customer service representatives to join their team. Learn more at standardheating.com/careers today.
Welcome to Talkville, the ultimate Smallville rewatch podcast. Lois Lane's here. Erica Durant's. Hi, Erica. It had to be nerve-wracking. What was your first reaction?
When I first read it, of course, they included the part of the scene where Lois gets up there and she thinks she's doing really great, and then she bails on stage. It was supposed to be comedic, but then they just cut out the comedy, and then I just looked like a stripper, which isn't a bad thing, but it was what my aim was.
Binge seasons 1 through 4 of Talkville before season 5 begins, wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
Former President Donald Trump is safe and unharmed following a protective incident shortly before 2 p.m. on Sunday at Trump International Golf Club at West Palm Beach.
Well, this is terrible. Again, the FBI investigating what they said is another apparent assassination attempt on Donald Trump at his Florida golf club yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
The second time in 2 months there's been an attempt on the former president's life. Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw said during a news conference his office was informed of shots fired by the Secret Service. Then agents fired at a man who had a rifle in the bushes along the perimeter of the Trump International Golf Club. A Secret Service agent spotted a rifle barrel with a scope sticking out of the fence of the golf course and immediately engaged with the person who was about 300 to 500 yards away.
In the bushes where this guy was, an AK-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks which were hung on the fence that had ceramic tile in them, and a GoPro.
The person fled the scene in a vehicle and was spotted by a witness, which ultimately helped law enforcement officials locate the suspect.
So they shot at him?
Yeah.
We're not going to make it, are we?
I don't know, man. I can't believe this has happened again, much less the first
We're
time.
just not going to make it.
Tito Jackson, the brother of Michael Jackson and co-founder of the Jackson 5, has died from an apparent heart attack.
Oh, Christ.
His 3 sons confirmed his passing in a joint Instagram statement, saying they were all shocked and saddened while describing their dad as someone who cared about everyone and will be deeply missed. The Jackson 5 pumped out 10 albums as the Jackson 5 and 5 more as the Jacksons. Tito also had a solo career, recording 2 albums. Tito, along with the other Jackson 5, was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1997. He was 70 years old.
I didn't know that Tito had checked out.
Yeah,
My
that's
goodness.
sad.
The Jacksons, man, they really had things cooking there for a while.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
And Mike's early days really were wonderful. I didn't follow. I didn't follow him too closely once. I mean, I don't know. It just got so strange there for a while.
I get it.
With you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But when he was a young kid, I'll tell you from my money, when he sings "She's Out of My Life."
Yeah, I can't help but smile anytime I hear the Jackson 5.
Do.
Love those guys. Never mess with Mama Bear. Some people just can't figure that out. But a 39-year-old motorcyclist running from police learned that lesson the hard way after he was wrestled to the ground by an angry mom. The man had hit the woman's car, which had her child inside, so she snapped, launching into protective mom mode. The flipping the table scenario happened in the Houston area after police caught the guy on a sport bike speeding. He refused to pull over, choosing to make a run for it instead. Like so many suspects who think they can flee without consequences, he overestimated his riding abilities and underestimated a mom behind the wheel.
He was ready to take off. I don't know how far he would have gotten, but he was ready to take off. I hold my kids accountable, and I was treating him like a child, like, you're not going nowhere, mister.
Furious, she jumped out of the car, pinned the suspect to the ground, and kept him there until police arrived.
She thinks she's tough.
I think she's pretty tough.
Yeah. That's badass.
Can I add MILF to the equation?
All right.
That's one of those. Maybe when she got on top of him, he's like, you know what? I'm just going to enjoy this.
I'm going to stay here for a little while.
This is way out of my league.
Is that right, Cubby?
A 35-year-old Clearwater man sent a threat to an elementary school in Tampa after his child was suspended because instead of teaching his kid a lesson about acting responsibly, he decided he'd try and teach the school a lesson when they had the nerve to suspend his irresponsible child. Esteban Del Valle was arrested Friday after he sent a text message threatening to shoot up the school, targeting specific teachers.
This is a grown man who has a child at the school?
He does, yeah.
Uh-huh. All right.
Yep.
The kid was acting up. They suspended him, and he couldn't handle that.
Right.
A witness who received the message reported it to police, who traced the message back to Del Valle's phone, as he's not exactly a criminal mastermind. A police spokesperson said the father's arrest comes as schools in the Tampa area have been dealing with a flood of threats lately for some reason. The sheriff's office said it's investigated more than 100 threats just since September 4th.
I'll go back to my prior statement of how we're not going to make it. And we're going to know who to blame.
Police in Illinois arrested 33-year-old Shakita Barfield after attacking a staff member at an elementary school over spilled cocaine. The school went into lockdown about 9:35 a.m. due to a disruptive visitor, quote-unquote, who was battering a staff member. During the investigation, police learned the staff member saw baggies of coke fall from her possession during a meeting and picked them up. When Barfield realized the staff intended to call police, she attacked, punching, scratching, and biting a victim. She also tried to strangle him with his own tie. She's facing multiple charges.
What was the spilled cocaine protocol at your grade school, Josh?
We didn't really think about that kind of thing.
Was that a grade school?
It was a elementary school.
Yeah.
So, yeah, grade school.
Okay, you don't remember the spilled cocaine policy?
No, I was too young.
Protocol?
Too young.
It's up for grabs. Anybody can get in on it if it's spilled?
Yeah, there was a lot in the lost and found, so I guess maybe their policy was you can just give it back. A 30-year-old woman tried to sneak a large amount of weed into a prison in England using her bra, leading police to a rather significant bust.
Dick.
I was going to let that hang for about 20 seconds. I chickened out. Leah Burke caught in the act in Nottinghamshire, where she was. The true value of her reefer rack was revealed. She tried
Nottinghamshire. Doesn't that aggravate you just to say that out loud?
Well, I don't know. I like a lot of those old kings and queens shows, nights.
Yeah,
I think it sounds kind of cool.
Yeah. Nottinghamshire. That is absolutely the opposite of cool.
She tried to smuggle cannabis with a street value of about $310, but behind bars, prison officials say the price shoots up over $8,000 to inmates.
Whoa. I gotta start dealing more drugs in prison.
Yep.
She tried to bolt, saying she wanted to go home, only to be nabbed with the butt in her boobs.
Well, you can't just go home.
No, yeah. What if that worked?
I'd like to go now.
Hey, Sarge, no one's ever asked us this before. What is our policy on this?
I want to go home, she says. Okay, well.
Turns out she was already on thin ice, having been bailed out for a similar offense last year. Her over-the-shoulder cannabis holder landed her a 15-month prison stretch.
15 months.
A Minnesota man found himself in handcuffs after a brief chase through the streets of North Minneapolis, ending what could only be described as a seriously bad day for the 28-year-old. When officers finally stopped him, they got more than they bargained for, a loaded Glock in his SUV with an attachment which converted it fully automatic, which police say legally classifies it as a machine gun. But the surprises didn't end there. They popped open the trunk and spotted a baby bag, which might have seemed harmless at first glance. But instead of diapers or baby bottles, they uncovered a brick of fentanyl stashed inside.
A brick of that stuff. That'll kill you dead, from what I understand.
Yep.
The driver is now facing several charges.
You know why you'll never find me in a high-speed chase with authorities, Josh?
Why's that?
My terrible sense of direction.
That would, you pull into a court or a cul-de-sac or something like that.
I was watching a movie the other day, and this isn't the first time this has dawned on me. I was watching that movie. You guys probably know it. It was, we're a couple brothers. One of us is good-looking. The other one really isn't, and Jeff Bridges is chasing us around because we rob banks. What was that movie called?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it. Chris Pine is in that, right?
Jeff, I like that movie, too.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's called One Good-Looking Brother and One Ugly One. But anyway, there's a scene where they have a car chase, and they just make all the right moves. And it dawned on me again. In real life, for me personally, I would have to study that neighborhood for years before I could. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I don't get it.
Was it Hell or High Water?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Originally, they wanted to call it One Good-Looking Brother and One Ass-Ugly Brother get chased around by Jeff Bridges, who is by far the coolest guy in the motion picture, and always is. That was the working title.
A little wordy, though.
Well, they usually
how
do. They usually do have those secret titles, right?
Yes.
But they try to throw you off your scent. That was a little too specific.
Yeah.
Although they could have been talking about like Twins 2 or Twins 3, maybe.
I suppose.
Jane's Addiction's Friday concert spiraled into chaos when the band's two biggest stars got into a fist fight right in front of their audience. 64-year-old Perry Farrell, the lead singer, faced off with 56-year-old guitarist Dave Navarro on stage at Leader Bank Pavilion in Boston.
There's a fight nobody would pay to see.
Yeah.
Dave was in the middle. Well, yeah, I guess technically nobody did. They're getting their money back. Dave was in the middle of a guitar solo when Perry walked over and gave Navarro an arm check. They exchanged heated words, with Perry getting right in Dave's face, causing him to backpedal. Perry threw a punch, but maybe too drunk to aim, he only managed to hit Dave's guitar, which was probably very embarrassing. As Perry charged at Dave, several road crew members rushed in to drag Perry away. Rumor has it the tension had been building all night. Perry kept repeating verses, which ticked off his bandmates, and he was ticked off because he thought the band was too loud.
Jane's Addiction, you say?
Yeah.
I didn't even know they were still a thing.
I don't know what I'll do if they break up.
Yeah, they canceled some concerts. They're not getting along.
Probably a good call. A scary video.
It is?
Yeah, I didn't. It just it seems like something's not right.
Well, yeah, that's been building up. And Dave Navarro kept his cool, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did a good job.
Police in Pensacola put a perpetrator in prison last week following a wild incident involving a shooting and a chase at a Waffle House that involved butts. According to the report, 24-year-old Daquan Terrace Jamarl Lucky was taken into custody Sunday, after Sunday, September 8th, specifically.
That dude should do some editing.
He penetrated for his name.
Yeah.
After penetrating an innocent man's backside.
What'd he do?
He shot him in the butt.
Oh, shot someone in the butt.
He penetrated a guy's butt. It started when Lucky fired a gun, intending to shoot a man, but the bullet ended up hitting the ground and ricocheting into another man's buttocks. After that, things escalated when Lucky reportedly chased a different man around the Waffle House parking lot, this time armed with a screwdriver. When officers arrived at the scene, things weren't so lucky for Lucky, as police found multiple bags of marijuana and MDMA on his person.
Cubby, you ever get any of that Waffle House action?
No, I've never been to a Waffle House.
I've heard great things about the food, and I've also heard that there's always something that you can watch.
Oh, yeah, especially late night.
Well, I'm talking about that, that Waffle House action.
Oh, like we're saying like it's a euphemism for something?
Yeah.
No. But there are times I want to put some syrup on that.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm not even sure what I'm saying. A suspect's been arrested over a now viral video of an enraged driver stealing a tow truck, hauling away a pickup truck, which was his pickup truck, and then he crashed it into multiple cars, destroying his pickup. Video captured the moment. 55-year-old Russell Leosa exploded as the tow truck driver was seen driving off with his Silverado.
Get down! Put the truck down! Put the truck down! Nobody's taking this truck from me.
Oh, my God.
Dude, put my effing truck down now. I'm warning you, the suspect yelled. I'm warning you, mother effer. Get the F away from my truck, he said, before jumping into the tow truck and barreling down the street with his pickup attached. As he was making his getaway, his truck, which still had an open door, was slamming against multiple cars parked along the street, damaging all of them and ripping the driver's side door off his pickup.
That's hilarious.
Next, he made a wild turn, which caused his truck to break free and roll over into oncoming traffic, but still he drove a few more blocks before ending his short, destructive joyride.
Good Lord.
The man's father defended him Friday, saying his son thought he was a robbery victim because the tow truck was unmarked.
Okay.
Totally, dude.
That's a cute story.
More than a dozen people who took money out of an ATM in Kentucky received counterfeit $100 bills.
I'm thinking that every single $100 bill in there is a fake.
And she's right. On the back of every 100, they said, for motion picture purposes and in props we trust. Independence Bank said 14 customers received the fake 100s, only learning the bills were fake when they went to use them. They said their team took immediate action by closing the ATM and contacting the vendor to see what happened.
Some of that funny money.
Yeah, they put it in. Supposedly, I mean, that stuff is not that hard to pick out. You know, you hear some of these stories, but maybe it feels the same. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
If I had 100, I'd admire it.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
I wouldn't even spend it. I'd just frame it.
I just want to see what it looks like in person.
I bet if you put your mind to it, you could make some pretty believable fake money and lead a life of crime.
I don't know. I got a pretty crappy printer at home. I'd have to do something a little different, I bet. Text ISLAND to 651-989-9393. ISLAND, which is our Luther Bloomington Kia text line featuring Dan Dingman, who has the best buns in the car business by far. For your efforts, you get a chance to win tickets to the sold-out 93X Rock the River cruise this Friday on Paddleford Riverboats. Free food, of course, from Lucky's 13. Live music from Gel. Drinks on the river with the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show, who I've even heard of. Prize provided by Paddleford Riverboats. Best of luck.
God dang it.
What happened?
I just had what I think is a good idea, and it's probably too late to make it happen. Cubby's not going to be able to make it on this stinking boat ride, right? He's got to go to a wedding or something, right? Don't you, Cubby?
Yeah, I do.
Is it too late to get a cardboard cutout, life-sized cardboard cutout of you so folks can still stand there and talk to you until you're exhausted?
That'd be so fun.
Take pictures in front of it.
We have one here. All I need to do is grow a mustache and hold a pillow. We could post that side by side online. Yeah, because we've got one of those here.
We've got what?
A cardboard cutout here. I just
oh,
like I said,
not of you necessarily.
No, not of me. Yeah.
Yes, right. But it's a dude with a mustache and a pillow.
So it'd be just like me.
Gotcha, right.
Amy Poehler is 53, Molly Shannon 60, Richard Mark 61, magician David Copperfield 68, Mickey Rourke 72. Happy birthday to Remy, a.k.a. Remlin Gremlin, turning the big 08 today from Muscled Dilf Jesus. This text requests a happy birthday shout-out to his smoking hot wife, 6 feet of Norwegian heat cheeses from her, quote, husband. Happy birthday to Ditch Digger Jesus, who now gets to supervise and oversee all the ditch digging at his work.
Oh.
Goat Truckin' Jesus sent in a happy 12th birthday wish to his son, Bodie, a.k.a. Mr. Pig. Happy 39th to Motocross 492 Jesus, and that's 93X News.
Randy Shaver
is a big humper, literally humping everyone. He is social, but he's more concerned about humping everybody.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
From Purdy, sets this up. Darnold to the air, dumps it out to Jones, blocked by Bradbury. He'll take it. Oh, he fumbled the ball. He fumbled it. It was maybe recovered at the goal line. San Francisco says they've got it, and they do. The Niners dodge a bullet. Pat Jones is now going to play. It's picked. It's blocked on the play. And it's picked up. Ham blocked it. And then it was taken by Theo Jackson. Darnold Getting messy, going deep, and he's got Jefferson. He's got Jefferson. It's a foot race downfield with Brown. Shifting gears. Getting a block. That's 6. 97 yards. Deflected, ricochet. Metellus has picked it up. And McCallum breaking tackles. Out of bounds. Turnover.
The amount of work that goes into that position when everybody decides that you cannot play. We always believed in him, and felt awesome to watch him go do that thing. So I'm really proud of Sam Darnold.
All right, let's bring in Randy Effenshaver and Brad Ryder. Welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Good morning.
One's Mark.
Sure, Dana's here too.
Hey,
Dana.
How was your weekend, boys? Talk to me.
It was good. Fun.
Yeah, it was good.
Lots of good sports to watch this weekend. I mean, between, at least the Twins won one game, but Gopher football on Saturday was somewhat entertaining. And, of course, the Viking game yesterday was awesome.
Yeah, what's going on with the Vikings? So everybody who covers the NFL said they'd straight up suck eggs, and they've won their first couple of ball games pretty easily. What's going on here?
I wouldn't say pretty easily. I thought yesterday's game was, pretty much a slugfest between two teams. But
well, if the Vikes don't cough the ball up in the red zone a couple of times, that's a blowout. It's not even a close game.
Yeah.
Well, I also think they played a really quality team yesterday. So any winning the game by 1 point or by 10 points, I don't think it matters. That was an impressive win. But
they look like a fairly good football team here. Why did everyone say they were going to be a feces pile, including you two?
Well, I'm not sure we said they'd be feces pile, but I think it's early too. So
that's what Dana says. Dana says eventually they will suck. We just have to brace ourselves for it.
Well, I think they're playing well. I don't think there's any question. I think they're catching teams at a good time. San Francisco without McCaffrey, I think helps. Jefferson gets hurt yesterday. We'll see what his long-term situation is.
He's fine. It ain't no thing but a chicken wing on a string from Burger King is what I read.
We don't know that for sure, but I think that the two things obviously for the Vikings that stand out. Sam Darnold is better than what I think some people thought he would be.
Told you.
At least to this point. And their defense has played really well.
Yeah.
I think those two things right now stand out about the Vikings. And as Brad said, it is early. There's a long way to go. But at least through the first 2 weeks, they look pretty good.
If you continue to win the turnover battle every week, you're probably going to win games. I think I saw a stat yesterday where in O'Connell's time here at Minnesota, when the Vikings are even or they win the turnover battle, they're 16-0. So if you don't turn the ball over and you're turning other teams over, you're probably going to win the game, and that's kind of what's happened the first 2 weeks.
Here's the deal. Yeah, the defense looks legit. Sam Darnold doesn't look like the total plug that everybody said he was. He went 17 for 26, 268 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had 1 interception. Is that right?
That's correct.
He tossed that bomb to Jefferson. The boys blocked the punt. The kicker kicked a couple of field goals and made all the point-after touchdowns. That's probably something that's overlooked, but we've had so much drama with kickers here over the last number of years, so everything just looks wonderful.
And
it's kind of surprised me because so many people said, forget about this season. They're going to be a bunch of dogs.
Like I said, we alluded to, you get that fumble at the goal line. If they take that in, that's 7 more. And, with the score being the way it was, it could have been a completely different game. So
I also think that the NFC, at least early on, is a little topsy-turvy right now. The Cowboys just get blown out yesterday. The Lions end up losing at home to Tampa. San Francisco's off to a 1-1 start. There may be some surprises in the NFC if things continue the way they're going. So maybe this is a year where the teams that you normally see at the top of the standings, maybe they won't be those kind of teams this year. Maybe the Eagles aren't as good as I thought they were going to be. Who knows? But at least early on, the Vikings are proving, along with the New Orleans Saints, to be the two surprising teams in the NFC at this point.
I also remember us having this conversation last year about the Chiefs and how the Chiefs were done. because they had lost a couple games early too. So we'll see.
I don't remember anybody saying the Chiefs were done. We're not that crazy.
Well, the Lions beat them week 1 last year, and then they had another loss, I think, week 3, and they were like 1-2 or 1-3, and people were writing them off. And
everybody already knows the Chiefs will again win this year's Super Bowl.
And then that's why they kept saying nobody believed in us, after.
Right.
If it's not the Chicago Bears, it's going to be the Chiefs winning this year's Super Bowl. That's the sad truth. That's the sad friggin' truth. All right, so, yeah, I forgot to write down the other NFL scores, something I usually like to talk back and forth with you guys about. But, yeah, the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, that's the biggest surprise.
I love that Sean, what the hell's his name, the coach?
Well, Sean is in Denver now.
No. He's still the coach. He does both. What's his name again?
Sean Payton.
Payton. I love that Sean Payton. I want to see him win another Super Bowl.
He's with the Broncos.
He does both.
He coaches both teams.
You know the conspiracy theories going around. I got one for you. Sean Casey is still the coach of the new. What's his name? Sean what? Payton. Who the hell's Sean Casey?
He's a baseball player.
Baseball.
Play baseball.
He's still the coach in New Orleans, and he's just doing that other side gig with the Denver Broncos. I love the way that guy coaches football, and I'm looking forward to another great Saints season. Who plays tonight? We could see Captain Death Rocks tonight?
Yes.
Kirko Chains.
Yes.
Jesus. Talk about an instant tune-out.
Oh, come on.
Come on, what? I had enough of that guy.
There's some curiosity there.
Well, for some of you, I'm just saying, for me, I had enough of that guy 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, but you'll tune in. You'll watch a little.
No, I will not.
What did he do to you other than just take a bunch of the Vikings' money?
I just never liked the guy.
Okay.
Didn't do anything personally to me.
You thought he was too pure, too nice.
That aggravates me.
No
There's a lot
edge.
of stuff I didn't like about the guy. Nothing he'd what? Hang on a second. A pro athlete's got to do something personally for me to.
No, I'm just teasing you. I'm just ribbing you.
I mean, you hang out with Jimmy. What's his nuts? Butler.
Bottles.
Not anymore.
Nobody likes Jimmy Butler. Brad hangs out with the guy.
Brad sounds sad. He doesn't respond. He doesn't return my calls anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
We're not friends.
No, not anymore.
You know, if Bottles comes back to town with the Miami Heat and you texted him, he'd hang out with you.
Well, I'd have to initiate the conversation, but yeah.
He does sound kind of heartbroken.
He does. Sound sad.
You do sound. You
do. You sound very sad about it.
No, I'm fine. I'm not sad at all.
Oh, God. I've heard that from my wife.
You are.
Denial.
No,
I'm not sad at all.
No, I'm not mad.
No.
Josh's wife says that to him, and then what's really going on?
I'm like, are you sure? Because you seem kind of, no, it's all good. And then at midnight, hey, we should talk.
It's the best time.
Oh, man.
Hey, here's a text from a listener who says, keep this in mind. The Vikings are still missing their number 2 wide receiver and their tight end. Their starting tight end.
True.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
The guy with the hairdo. Casey, I think his name is.
Nope, it's not Casey.
Nope.
Definitely not.
It's Sean Payton.
It's not Sean Payton either.
Sean Casey?
Oh, man.
Duvoit? No.
No, that's Duvoit.
All right, Park and Rec Jesus says I should watch Kirk Cousins tonight because I like bad football. That is true.
That is true.
That is true.
And you like Joe Buck?
Joe, what about Joe Buck?
He'll be calling
They do the game.
Oh,
Calling the game.
he and Dinkus.
Troy.
Yeah.
Troy Aikman.
Right after the 4-hour pregame on ESPN.
I do love bad football. But I don't know. I got so burned out on that friggin' Cousins dude.
Yeah, but
with
you
that
know what?
stupid smile on his face. I just wanted to vomit the last couple of years.
How dare he be happy?
They might get waxed early on.
Who are they playing?
They're at Philly tonight.
You'll love it.
Philadelphia?
They could get waxed early. You'll love that.
All right. I still say I'm not watching it. But I'll admit, there are some attractions there. There are some attractive things about the ballgame. Oh, man. Okay, tonight, there you got Atlanta and Philadelphia. A lot of folks have been texting in about that 97-yard touchdown throw. We played the audio.
Fantastic.
What's his nuts? Darnold to Jefferson.
That was nice.
But you know what a lot of folks are saying? The official.
Yes, and Naylor who throws the block.
How fast is that guy?
He was like 40 yards behind the play.
It's like they fast forwarded him. He was going
crazy.
Yeah, we rewound it just for that and that
Yes.
official. That official is crazy fast too.
People are saying we need to sign him.
I never noticed the official when I saw it happen live, but then everyone's been saying the highlight of that play isn't Naylor or Jefferson or whatever. It's the referee and the speed and agility that he showed.
Yeah, that cut he made.
That dude is a terrific athlete.
Yeah, he is.
And he deserves a little bit of praise this morning. Did someone say that video's up on our website?
Yes, it is.
Watch that ref go. And he's backpedaling and he's pirouetting to be in the proper position.
Great moves. And if you didn't pay attention to Naylor, watch that too. I can't believe how fast he was. That was awesome.
If only NBA officials could perform that way.
Well, they don't have to run that fast, NBA officials.
I'm not saying exactly that way. If only NBA officials could put on that kind of a show. But instead, they choose to be the worst officials on planet Earth.
People would argue they're trying to put on too much of a show. That's
really. Why would you want that?
You're taking this too literally. I'm just saying I wish NBA officials were better. Now they made me yell.
Look what you made.
Nobody's making you do anything.
I don't know
Mission
why
accomplished by 7:45. We were able to tick you off.
I don't know why you made me do that. Look here. Local legend, former wrestling referee Rob Page has texted in to say, finally, some respect for referees.
Yeah, those poor wrestling referees, they kind of take a beating sometimes.
Well, especially Rob
physically
Page.
and literally.
We were on his ass.
I've noticed some of them get distracted very easily, and then one guy does something in the ring that you're never allowed to do. It seems like that happens.
I'll have to keep an eye out for that.
If you know Rob Page, in his early days, we weren't very kind to Rob. We called him Screech. From Saved by the Bell fame. All right, so here we go. The Vikings are 2-0, and this and that is happening, and there's a game tonight. You know, vomit has been playing a bigger role in professional sports than I ever anticipated.
Oh, yes.
Three times this baseball season, right, Josh?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Dudes have been throwing up. One guy threw up twice this season while on the mound. Vomit has played a bigger role in professional sports in the last few years than I ever anticipated. So yesterday, the Green Bay Packers are playing a home game at the wildly overrated Lambeau Field. They're playing the Indianapolis Colts, and their center, the Packers center, a kid named Josh Myers, he may not have been feeling all that great during the game yesterday. So the Packers had a third down. If you haven't seen this or heard about it, Packers had a third down play, so there's the center. He's all bent over the football there, getting ready to snap the sumbitch to whoever the backup there is in Green Bay.
Yeah, Malik Willis.
And Myers, the center, he puked right on the football before snapping it.
Yep.
Gross.
Just ripped up right on the ball. And then
Ashley.
On the ball.
This is disgusting.
Sprayed. And on the play, that backup quarterback, Malik Willis, he scrambled around for a few yards. And after the game, somebody went ahead and said that, you know, Willis was supposed to throw the football on that play, and there were an open receiver or two downfield, but he didn't throw the ball because the center had sprayed his breakfast all over the damn thing, and it was all slippery.
Right. Yeah, the coach actually asked him why he didn't throw the ball on third down. And he
What you talking about, Willis?
It's because the center puked on the football.
Like, dude, there's puke on the ball.
Oh,
official came over to me, Sean came over to me and said, you know, we saw your center thrown up on the ball. Do you want us to take him out next time? I said, absolutely. Please do that because, I mean, you're talking about a critical situation and it's third down and I've never had a throw with vomit on a football. So I don't know. I don't think Malik probably didn't appreciate that.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, it was gross. Here's a listener by the name of Ronin Engineer Jesus who says, hey, Nick, when you get upset, just think of being retired, riding a Harley with Cubby, holding on to him tight, driving through the changing leaves.
There you go. We set the stage for that earlier, didn't we?
Oh, man.
I forgot. I was watching another game yesterday. I forget which one, but some dude was running over to the sidelines and he barfed right next to it. I was wondering if that would make it on a website. I haven't seen it yet.
What are these young people eating and drinking? Why is everyone vomiting?
That was like all liquid. I wonder if he just overhydrated.
Yeah.
Is it something about it? Are they pressing that hydration harder than they ever? Because when I was a kid watching football games, I never saw anybody puke on the ball field. So that was pretty gross.
The best one I ever saw was during a soccer tournament when I was 12 or 13. It's one of those things where we played a morning game. They had it in the afternoon. Needed to go get a bite to eat. So parents all took us to Old Country Buffet. And they all warned us. They said, they got, in moderation, boys. It's 100 degrees. You got to play another game.
Yeah, that's the place you take someone for moderation.
Yeah, I know.
Good idea.
And one of our guys just went for it. Just the mac and cheese, the ice cream, the everything. And we got through about 20 yards of our pregame jog, and he was just throwing up everywhere. It was horrible.
God.
Looking back,
that, yeah.
parents must have been desperate. Oh, we got to take the kids somewhere. OCB.
Here's a text message from Brewers and High Life Jesus. Brewers and High Life Jesus. He says, NBA officials are athletes. You know how strong a lungs you got to have to blow a whistle that many times in one game? That's a good point. Well, we're talking about big-time pro athletes throwing up on the playing field. 2 words for you. Peter Svoboda, longtime NHL defenseman. Montreal Canadiens, Philadelphia Flyers. He bounced around because he was a talented dude, could handle the puck. Anyone else remember the name Peter Svoboda? Of course not. State of hockey, my ass. So I'm watching a playoff game, early 90s, and Svoboda was playing for the Philadelphia Flyers at the time. So they were a pretty hot club. They had that douchebag Eric Lindros and John LeClaire and this and that. The Flyers were a top club, early 90s. And, I'll never forget this as long as I live. As the camera and the broadcasters were going into a commercial, they had a shot of the Flyers bench behind the players. So you see the players' backs and their sweater numbers and their last name. And Svoboda, right as they cut to commercial, he launched more fluid out of his body than I'd ever seen in my lifetime. He just, he's clearing the bench onto the ice.
God.
He was cooked, that guy. All right. What happened? I'm sorry, I didn't get around to this because I'm a stupid idiot, and Josh and I got to talking trash about everyone else in the building.
That's not true.
What happened with a camera guy? Died on the field or something yesterday?
I didn't see anything about a camera guy, but one of the chain gang.
Yeah.
Oh, a chain gang. Sorry.
That could be 2 different incidents. I'm not sure. I didn't hear that he died.
Yeah, I didn't hear that either.
But they had to carry him off in a stretcher. He tripped over a yard marker.
All right, let me
hit his head.
Hit his head.
Tripped over a yard marker and hit his head on the field.
Yep.
And
I actually think there were 2 different episodes on the sidelines yesterday.
So then maybe, I didn't hear about a cameraman one.
All right, yeah. I hate myself because now I'm trying to find the story. Okay, so you guys are saying dude tripped, fell, hit his head. I thought I read something about a guy. Here it is. NFL chain gang member received CPR on sideline at Ravens-Raiders game.
I think there were 2 different instances yesterday.
Guy suffered a medical emergency.
Yeah.
So 2 chain gang guys got mangled.
Oh, yeah, I only saw the one.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah, I saw the one that was getting CPR on him.
The chain gang.
He had some kind of grabber out there, Brad Ryder. Is that what I'm to believe?
Well, I don't know. The story I saw said he hit his head.
Well, that's a different one. I think there were 2 different ones. I think there were 2 different instances yesterday.
Man.
Jeez.
These guys got to be careful.
I think there's a guy who had a medical emergency on the sidelines where they stopped the game, and then there was a guy who fell backwards over the yard marker and hit his head.
Okay.
So I think there were 2 different ones.
I think you're right, Randy Shaver. The dude had a grabber, Christ, that's scary.
Yep.
Hopefully they took good care of him. Either one, guy whacks his head, that can kill you. Jesus, what a scene. Wasn't there a big league umpire who died on the ball field a number of years ago?
Oh, I don't remember.
If I remember correctly, look this up. I want to say his name was, and if I'm wrong here, was it by the name of John McSherry? Was that his name?
Yeah. Yep.
Did he die? Is he dead? Is he dead, Wapple? You're looking it up right now?
Yeah, he died April 1st, 1996.
Now, if I remember right, he's a bigger guy, right?
Yes. Yep.
And he felt like garbage during this ball game, and he calls the final out of an inning, and then he tried to get himself off the field, and he collapsed, didn't he? Is that all what happened?
Yeah, and it looks like it was on opening day, too.
Christ almighty.
Awful.
Yeah, dies during Reds opening day.
Yep, that's right. My damn. Tua, the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins.
Yep.
Now, he's not going to play football for a while. He got a concussion last week, but he is planning on playing again. He has no plans to retire.
Wow.
He's going to meet with some specialists to help determine what's next for him. So there you go.
Well, if I'm the Miami Dolphins, this is a really difficult decision for them too, right? Because they not only do they have to look out for the future of their club, but they have to look out for the future of this young guy. And if he wants to play, that's one thing. But if they allow him to play and he gets hurt again, what does that look like for them, for their organization? So there's a lot of factors here. He may say he wants to play, but that decision may end up not being totally his, just because of the severity of the injuries that he's had. So,
and NFL dorks need to try and keep it in their pants. Tom Brady isn't unretiring to replace Tua with the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, that started instantaneously.
Yeah,
that started like during the game. That started.
These people are such morons.
If it were a year ago, maybe, but he's been out. He's been out a couple of years now. So.
Here's a question from a listener. Why are all the NFL sideline folks 80 years old? I haven't noticed that. Is that true? I mean, I guess.
Talking about the people that run the chains?
Yeah.
I guess I don't pay attention to that.
Weren't they talking about like getting laser beams or something like that to take over?
Yeah, they're going to put a chip in the ball.
Yes, I've heard that conversation. They're going to install, Josh, what they call a laser into the football. I guess, I haven't noticed the chain gang lately, but yeah, my memory is they were always older dudes.
Sure.
I think because once they landed that job, they kept it.
Exactly.
Sure.
Why would you give that up?
Right.
And
Not the toughest gig in the world.
If you're good at it, you're not going to replace the people.
Right. I don't know. Let the old boys hang around. Freaking laser beams in my footballs, right, Josh? In the future,
it's dangerous.
It's a laser.
You've heard the idea, haven't you, Randy?
Oh, absolutely. I've heard the idea. Sure.
Lasers. That's high tech stuff. Someone's going to lose a toe or something. That laser will cut somebody's leg off for them.
Exactly.
Then they'll get rid of the lasers. All right, Shannon Sharp is now selling T-shirts. T-shirts is how you say it. Shannon Sharp is now selling T-shirts referencing his live oral sex on Instagram.
Oh, dude.
It was all a scam.
He got fired, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, no. What?
I thought I saw that, too. They let him go.
I didn't.
I thought that was a joke.
That was a hoax, wasn't it?
Oh, was that a hoax?
Was it a hoax? I fell for it, too.
Mm-hmm. Well, we all fell for it.
They didn't even discipline him for it.
No, he's fine. He's got his gig.
All right, good.
But this was all a game, I believe. Acting like he's so ashamed of what happened, and now he's selling T-shirts with number 69 on it, and which is of course,
Jesus.
Of course, that's instantly hilarious when a T-shirt has 69 on it.
So funny.
Yeah,
One more, I got 69 touchdowns. If you know what I mean. Only you know what I mean, baby.
What a meathead.
No doubt.
God, really.
All right, so what in the hell was that?
She hates him.
I forgot about that girl.
Who's that?
Oh, my God.
Do you remember the lady yelling at her boyfriend at the airport and how well he took all of it?
Yeah, he just sat there and took her.
Yeah, he had seen that show before. It was clear.
Man.
Oh, man.
So Shannon Sharp is dumping oral sex on some gal a week ago. It ends up on Instagram. He goes on and on about how ashamed he is, and now he's selling T-shirts. What a clown.
When we first talked about the story, I was saying how glad I was he wasn't making any noise, and then people educated me as to why. I never considered what the act might have been.
Oh, why he wasn't making any noise. Yeah, because he was dumping that mouth sex on her.
Busy. Yeah.
This guy's 56 years old.
Oh, gosh.
And he
You know, Nick's going to be 53 tomorrow.
Oh, I got no problem with that.
Yeah, well,
What, you're calling guys in their 50s gross?
Yeah, well, what are you calling guys in their 60s?
Extra gross.
I mean, he's too old to be doing that.
He is too old to be doing that.
Him
You're
being
right.
that age and doing that kind of stuff is what's gross.
She's right.
Wait.
Well, you don't like that. You don't like that at any age.
Hate it.
What?
At any age.
Hate it.
We're in the prime of our lives.
That's right. Exactly. Don't tell me I have things I can't do anymore.
Sorry, I didn't know you were passionate about that.
Don't take the keys away from Grandpa.
Hey, look, if he wants to partake in disgusting oral sex, that's his problem. What I'm referencing when I say Shannon Sharpe is 56 years old is this scam he pulled on us.
Sure.
I mean, if he was dishonest, he set us all up. Oh, I'm so sorry. I feel like a jackass. I'm so embarrassed. And then he's selling cute T-shirts with the number 69 on it. Another one of the T-shirts says, "That's my Michelle," or something like that. I don't know what that means.
Oh, because he said that in the video.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Someone posted this on Twitter about this scam that Shannon Sharpe ran on all of us. Someone posted, it just goes to show. You can have all the muscles in the world, have a Hall of Fame NFL career, keep your muscles well after normal age, and still be completely insecure about your sexuality.
Yeah.
Others are waiting to see a cease and desist from Axl Rose because his T-shirt says "My Michelle" on it.
At first I thought, is he making a Guns N' Roses reference?
Well, they said in the song, didn't they, Josh?
They did.
You just, by God, can't tell. 1987, Appetite for Destruction. I believe track 1, side 2, by Michelle. Song about a heroin addict. Check it out, kids.
Jesus.
Golden Gopher Football Club, Randy, you mentioned them earlier. They shut out the University of Nevada 27-0. Their second straight shutout, and by God, they hadn't done that since 1962.
I'm really proud of our defense. That's the first time since 1962 that we had back-to-back shutouts. That was a long time ago. I love how our defense is playing. I love the complementary football.
That's P.J. Fleck right there, the head coach.
I had to laugh. You had to point out that it was a long time ago.
Yeah. I mean,
Some people aren't good at math.
Yeah.
What was a long time ago?
He had to point out that it was a long time ago that they had back-to-back shutouts. I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, next up is a matchup with the Iowegians here at home this Saturday night.
Yeah.
There you go.
Fighting to the death for Floyd of Rosedale.
I wonder what the over-under is going to be on that game.
Get some, bitch.
10.5.
39?
It's a night game, too.
Yeah.
Battling to the death
Is that the
for
NBC
Floyd.
game?
It is.
Okay.
I'm excited. I'll be there. So should be a good time.
What is that supposed to mean?
Won't be any beer left in Dinkytown.
Ashley's going to the game, Josh. Did you hear that?
I did. Do you want to borrow my gopher-alls? I
Yes.
was gifted some gopher-alls.
I was actually going to ask you if I could borrow them. Yes.
I'll bring them for you tomorrow.
Perfect.
I don't know why everyone's picking on this kid. People are calling it the worst point-after touchdown of all time. Tulane's kicker smoked the line drive that went under the crossbar in their game against Oklahoma over the weekend. I don't know. I've seen worse. I've seen way worse than this, but I don't know. The internet gets ahead of itself.
At least it's on target.
I don't know that I've ever seen that. A line drive kick that goes under the crossbar.
It wasn't that bad. Everyone needs to calm down. Portland State and South Dakota were scheduled to play football over the weekend, but they had to cancel the game because of an outbreak on the Portland State ball club, an outbreak of whooping cough.
Oh, no.
You ever heard that before?
What do you mean, heard of a whooping cough?
No, heard whooping cough.
I don't think so.
I mean, that's why they call it. It's. You'll never forget.
Yeah.
So
Is that
you haven't
right?
heard it yet.
Sounds bad.
Where were you at? Were you at a whooping cough fundraiser?
I was, yeah. We were trying to raise money to cause more whooping cough.
Where did you hear it firsthand? Did you have it?
No, I didn't have it. A kid at my son's school had it, and then I watched a news report, actually not too far afterwards, long afterwards, I should say, on whooping cough, and they were showing a bunch of poor kids going through something like this.
An outbreak of whooping cough.
You don't hear about that too much.
I hadn't heard that said out loud before. Maybe when I was watching Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah, it seems like a dysentery joke or something.
Every other week they had some disease sweep through town and all the kids would die. It was horrible what happened on Little House on the Prairie. And Charles just kept pumping out babies. Charles and his wife, Diana.
That's not Diana.
Charles and Caroline. He never wore a rubber.
All right, I did find this quick. Here's whooping cough for you.
Oh.
Yeah, something you don't forget.
Oh, that makes me sad. Poor little kid.
By the way, SOB Jesus texted in, Brad Ryder, Randy Shaver, the over-under for Saturday's game against the Iowegians for Floyd of Rosedale. The over-under currently is at 37.5.
Oh, I was too high. I said 38-39.
Might go under on that.
I don't know. Iowa scored a ton of points this last weekend. I think the over-under was 39, and both teams combined for like 60 almost. So maybe Iowa's no longer a struggling offense. We'll see.
It's fun when the Iowegians come to town for football
It is,
or basketball. I like watching the basketball games there.
I would say the basketball's more entertaining, wouldn't you?
Well, you know,
at least back in the day, that was the game.
When both teams are good basketball.
Yes, back
Oh,
at the barn.
I've seen some great games at the
better.
barn between Golden Gophers and the Iowegians. I mean, even as recently as when that big Jamokas that plays for the Timberwolves now was pouring in points for Luka Garza. Had some spirited games at Willem Arena. You know, you're in closer quarters with the fans, obviously, at the basketball game.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a true story. A few years ago, maybe it was when Garza was playing for the Iowegians, I went to the Golden Gopher game against the Hawkeyes, and I was sitting up in the nosebleeds, and it was a packed house, and our whole section was Iowegians, handful of Minnesota people. All the Iowegians bought these cheap seats, and I just thought I'd make a joke as I was filing myself into my seat, which wasn't easy because of all the people. I was a little late for tip-off, and I told the people I was with, I said, sorry I didn't get here in time for tip-off. I had a hard time making my way around all these damned Iowegians, right? Just a little lighthearted joke. Old-timer leans up and says, blow me. Wow. And I said, I don't want to hear your problems. Here's one way to tell that a ball game is completely out of hand when the announcers are discussing maggots, corpses, and general human body decomposition.
What would the maggots do with your hair? Is there enough product in that to keep it around for a while?
I'll tell you what, with the product that's in it right now, it might be the last thing to go.
It would definitely stick around.
All right, so the announcers were having a conversation. They went a lot further than that, talking about corpses and maggots. And this was during the Tennessee versus Kent State college football game. It was 44-0, 2 minutes into the second quarter.
Wow. Well, that might explain why they were trying to find topics other than the football game to talk about.
Exactly. That game ended 71-0. Tennessee beat Kent State.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so boring.
Sad I missed that one.
So these two announcers, they had nothing to talk about. And, I mean, it wasn't completely off the rails. I guess the University of Tennessee, where the game was being played, has a well-known, quote, body farm where they research dead bodies. So that's how it came up. You got to do what you got to do when it's 44-0, 2 minutes into the second quarter.
Wow.
All right. Things look pretty bad Saturday night for the Twins. Hell, they lost 11-1 to the Cincinnati Reds. They lost the first two games of the series. Thankfully, they turned things around yesterday. They got a win on their way out of town. They beat the Reds 9-2. And now, this is where things get a hell of a lot tougher tonight in Cleveland. The first of 4 against the Guardians, followed by 3 games at the Boston Red Sox.
Yep, and Detroit is 2.5 back.
Mm-hmm.
And Seattle is 2.5 back, and Seattle has won 3 in a row. So
Pablo
things
Lopez.
are getting a little sticky.
It is sticky, Brad Ryder.
Yep.
And I don't like it. Pablo Lopez on the bump tonight.
Well, here's what I like about that. Lopez is pitching on a Monday, which means he's also coming back and pitching on Saturday or Sunday. So we'll get two starts by Lopez in 1 week, which actually, when you're in this kind of situation where there's 2 weeks left to go in the season, I love the fact that on a crucial week, we're going to get Lopez twice this week.
Well, and one of them is going to be against the Red Sox this weekend, and the Red Sox, I believe, are only 4 back, too.
Yeah. The Red Sox have kind of fallen off a little bit.
Yeah.
So a couple fellas had huge days yesterday. Rookie Brooks Lee knocked 5 runs in.
Yeah.
Including a bases-loaded triple. That was a riot to watch. Carlos Santana went 3 for 4 with a 2-run dong. It's only the 4th win for the Twins in their last 12 games, but like we were just saying, they're still hanging on.
Yeah, they are.
In the wild card playoff. They got their big 3 back. That's what folks say, the big 3. They got Correa, Buxton, and Royce Lewis all playing together.
Unfortunately, it only happened one night. I think that was Saturday, and they got blown out.
Well, what do you mean? So someone rested yesterday?
I think Correa and Buxton did not play yesterday.
Well, don't you think they'll all be in the lineup tonight?
I would think so. Yeah.
The White Sox.
Why else would you bring them back?
Right.
We're going to play them against Cleveland.
No, I asked because I thought someone had been hurt and I didn't know about it.
I think they're back tonight.
Okay, of course. If they're all, yeah. White Sox won back-to-back games for the first time in nearly 3 months yesterday.
Yep.
If you're a White Sox fan, are you rooting for them to break the record at this point?
Of course.
Yeah.
They're on a 2-game winning streak. I'm looking at the standings here. They've won 2 in a row.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's what I just said. They won back-to-back games for the first time in 3 months.
Yep.
Friday night, Caitlin Clark of the Indiana Fevers, she broke the WNBA single-season record for assists. Sunday, okay, that was Friday night. She broke the record for assists. Yesterday, she became the highest-scoring rookie in WNBA history. She passed Simone Augustus. Didn't she play here?
Sure
She
did.
certainly did.
Mm. Also, a couple days ago, a gal named Aja Wilson broke the WNBA single-season scoring record. Okay, so Caitlin has the rookie record. This gal has the single-season record. Sounds like she can just smooth score the basketball. Aja Wilson plays for the Las Vegas Aces. I used to go to a bar called the Aces. That's where I first met Wapple. Wapple will remember this. Charlestown Chiefs forward Ned Braden and his wife would make a scene in the Aces now and again.
Yep.
Remember one night, Wapple, where he passed his wife the keys to their van and said, "You take the van, I'll take the dog."
I'll take the dog.
Dog's name was Ruby.
Such a good girl.
Oh, she's the best girl. Are you my girl? What's this now? Pigs fans are upset that their favorite hockey club has a new partnership with Fanatics.
They're the people that make the jerseys that the MLB fans hate too, because they're very cheaply made, but cost a lot of money.
Yeah, I remember baseball fans being pretty upset about that.
Yep.
Okay, so the NHL announced this offseason that they're officially partnered with Fanatics as their new on-ice jersey manufacturer. The Pigs are taking that a step further with their in-arena merchandise store being a Fanatics shop, and fans aren't thrilled about it at all. I saw one fan reaction, Josh. Check this out. On Twitter, one fan said that Fanatics are the worst company ever.
Is that right?
Worst company ever.
Worst company ever.
Yes.
Yeah, might be a little bit of a stretch, but I do understand that the jerseys are like paper thin and still cost, $250.
So that's it. The quality just isn't the same.
Mm-hmm. Used back in the day when you get an authentic jersey, it'd be stitched. It had like the nameplate, the lettering all embroidered and stuff. And now it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's tough to explain, but it's very cheaply made.
They look cheap. They feel cheap. I mean, okay, are they falling apart? Do they fall off your back while you're wearing it? I mean, what are you doing while wearing these jerseys that you're that worried about the quality of the jersey? I mean, at the old Metrodome, they used to hand out those fake jersey T-shirt type things. I don't know. Hell, I had one of those, lasted 30 years. But I guess it's Fanatics makes it. I don't know. I don't follow these things.
Yeah, it's very expensive for a very low quality product. Is I think what the main complaint is.
Too much money. Mm-hmm. Then I heard someone say something about how it's not Fanatics' fault that their material is poor quality. It's Nike's fault. I don't know.
It is ridiculous how much some of those go for.
Yes.
Do you buy real ones, Dana? Or?
No, I buy mine on eBay from somewhere in Asia, and it takes about a month and a half to get it.
Yeah.
and you just kind of like just cross your fingers and hope.
Hope that things are spelled correctly.
Hope it shows up.
Yeah. I was going to ask because you've got quite a few, it seems.
I do, yeah. Mine, I think I've bought like one from the official website. The rest of them, you save a lot of money if you buy them on eBay.
All right. Well, that's what the Pigs fans are worried about. All right. Who thinks this is totally unfair? Retired NHL goaltender, Hall of Famer for Christ's sake, Roberto Luongo. Remember him, Josh? Roberto Luongo.
Yeah.
Huh? Mm-hmm. You don't remember him, do you?
I do. Of course I do. I'm letting you get to the story. Well, Roberto and I go way back.
Well, just the way you said it made me... Roberto Luongo helped a beer league team win a championship by answering their call on Facebook.
That's pretty cool.
What a dick. You haven't had enough friggin' glory? And that team is a bunch of dicks for asking him.
Oh, you think so?
Yes.
I don't know. I thought he looked pretty good. Did you watch any of the video?
No, I'm sure he did look good. He's a Hall of Famer. But he jumped in with a beer league team so they could win a championship? I mean, we don't like that in beer league. We don't like, what's the term again? There's a term. A ringer. We don't like ringers.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of shady. If I was the other team, I'd be a little ticked off.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean good. Like, he just looks good. Like, his appearance looks good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that is sometimes the toughest part of beer league, finding a reliable goalie who can show up every week. And I guess this was in Florida. A beer league club needed a netminder ahead of their championship game, and by God, they got a Hall of Famer.
I think that's hilarious.
Now, maybe some of you will go this way. This team that texted or whatever, Facebooked Roberto Luongo and said, come play for our team, and he did. That club did take down a beer league club that had won 5 consecutive championships. So maybe some of you will say, well, they took out the evil empire. Right. You know, they had to do what they had to do to finally get these douchebags out of the way. I don't know. Can you imagine? Taking the ice with your beer-bellied pals for the title game. Okay, I recognize that friggin' goalie, and he wasn't between the pipes the last time we played these plugs. You know what I mean? That's friggin' Roberto Luongo. You kidding me?
People are saying the other team, they also stack theirs as well. So they don't say exactly who they've had on their team, but so maybe this is not unprecedented here.
Okay. But I got to know who else they're stacking. Jeremy Roenick showed up for a game?
Get back to us and let us know.
Marcel Dion is out there. He's 79 years old. Oh, man. I remember one afternoon playing beer league, and it started to get out of hand when more and more of the teams we were playing, these kids had college emblems on their helmet.
Oh, yeah.
They're playing, some of them were playing D1 college and then coming here to F around with us on Sundays and beat us into oblivion.
Come on.
How much glory do you need, you little prick, right? It's like, why are these 21-year-old kids playing for this and that college? Why are they coming here to stomp our guts out? So one afternoon, this kid comes up the right-hand boards. I'm playing defense. And he absolutely undressed me like I have never experienced before, my jock hanging from the rafters. It was just beautiful. I don't think I ever really saw him. It was just weepity boop, and he was going underwear drawer. It was so and I was like, what even just happened right there? I go to the bench, and my teammate says, Borny, don't feel too bad. That kid just got drafted in the 2nd round by the Montreal Canadiens. And then I'm sitting on the bench hollering at the kid, what are you doing out here? Did that feel good to pick on an old man like that?
It had to make you feel a little bit good that you were on the same sheet of ice and trying to compete with somebody like that.
You're a positive guy, Brad Ryder.
I like that.
Yeah.
No, I was pissed off. My girlfriend's in the stands and everything.
I wish Jimmy Butler could see the side of Brad we do.
No, I remember my sophomore year of high school. I gave up two dongs, I'll call them, to a guy. I don't remember what high school it was. And then he was a senior and he graduated. And I found out later that summer he got drafted and he ended up playing minor league baseball. And I was same badge of courage. I was like, hey, I gave up 2 home runs to this guy.
Yeah. And you used to be friends with Jimmy Butler, too.
Yeah.
So you got a lot going for you.
Sure.
Well, this kid that danced me, he didn't amount to squat.
Are you saying he peaked after he whooped you?
Yeah, that might have been it. The Canadians took one look at him and said, "You were playing where?" At Augsburg? What for? All right, there you go. Ashley wants me to ask you guys, Brad and Randy, have you fellas taken a look at Moo Dang the baby hippo?
I have not.
No.
Pretty cute.
As you leave us today, get on the internet and check out Moo Dang the baby hippo.
Dude,
How do you
so
spell
cute.
that?
MOO, like moo, and
Okay.
then DENG.
Just like Gorgie.
Okay.
A bunch of stuff is going to pop up. You're not going to regret this. It's so cute.
Ashley's in love with a baby hippo. She wants to marry a baby hippo.
The world's in love with this hippo.
Moo
Oh,
Dang.
yeah. This hippo is popping off.
The hippo is popping off?
Yeah, like it's becoming famous. Like famous online.
I wonder what Moo Dang's siblings are feeling. Like, hey, we're pretty cute pygmy hippos too, and nobody's popping off about us.
I see him.
Yeah, there's Do Dang, his little brother, Do Dang, and Foo Dang, and Woo Dang.
They're all named after dishes, like something you go to a restaurant and buy. I don't know how I feel about that.
Woo, I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures of Moo Dang's brother, Woo Dang. He has a huge head of blonde hair, wears big robes.
Alligator shoes.
Yeah, alligator shoes. He's in a limousine, stretch limousine. Your mother's in there going, woo, woo, woo. You catch that part? If you look in the windows of that limo, your mama's in there. And what is she saying, Waffle?
Ooh.
Yeah. We got to go. You guys have been great. We'll talk to you very, very soon.
See you tomorrow.
Right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, text CHAOS, CHAOS, CHAOS to 651-989-9393 for a chance to win tickets to 93X Presents Megadeth in Mudvayne. This concert will take place Tuesday, September 24th at the Armory. Prize provided by Ledge Entertainment. This keyword is good today, September 16th until midnight.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930. Now ran by his granddaughter, Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
Are you looking to improve your work-life balance with excellent benefits like 401k match and even tuition reimbursement? Standard Heating and Air is looking for an accounting administrator and customer service representatives to join their team. Learn more at standardheating.com/careers today.
Every week, Michael Rosenbaum is getting deep with someone new on the Inside of You podcast.
Lou Graham of Foreigner. Want to know what love is. Feels like the first time. What is the hardest song to sing?
I've been waiting for a girl like you.
Yeah. I try to karaoke that song because it seems, waiting for a girl like you.
The verses are nice and
easy. But when you say waiting, that's it. I'm done with karaoke. Yeah, I guess.
Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum, wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show 93X.
Oh, man, I love this crowd. Cubby, don't you love the crowd that we got out there this morning?
Big fan, huge fan.
Thank you for listening to the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. It's already 8:33. It's Monday. It's 93X Rock. Let's see where we can go now. Check this out. Fans of early 90s rock, text words, WORDS. Text words to 651-989-9393 on our Luther Bloomington Kia text line for a chance to win tickets to one of Cubby's favorite acts.
Well, that's not true, but you say that every time. One of my favorite guitar players of all time. Not one of my favorite acts.
For your chance to win a great guitar player.
That's right.
In a band called Extreme. They're playing Sunday at Mystic Showroom, Mystic Lake Casino. Thank you for providing the prize, Mystic Lake Casino. Extreme's coming to town, and they're going to do this, that. Nuno Betancourt.
Incredible. Absolutely, he's a god. He is one of my probably top 5 guitar players.
And again, the word to text in is words. A couple of my old high school bros went to see them the last time they came to town, and they said their D's were knocked into the damn dirt.
That's what I've heard. I heard they can bring it. I've actually never seen them live. But Nuno, I bought an amp that he's endorsing now. I can't afford one of his guitars. I'd love to buy one of his guitars.
What does he want for a guitar?
Oh, a couple grand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. One of the legit ones.
I kind of thought that's what everybody would want for their own guitar.
No, you can get some far less than that.
Do you have a George Lynch guitar?
Nope. Don't have a George Lynch
You have a Steve Vai guitar?
I used to until it got ripped off.
Oh!
Yeah, I had it. And since then, I haven't bought artist guitars.
I was never a big Extreme guy, but I'm glad they're still going. Good for them. All right. Name for me, speaking of musicians, name for me or text me, if you're in our listening audience, 651-989-9393. Name for me a musician that can actually act. Now, I'm sure there are some obvious answers. I just haven't thought about such a thing in a long time. Name for me a musician that can actually act.
Oh, I've got a few. I just want to say one more thing about Nuno Betancourt. If you watch some of those videos, you know how they have like a professional singer or somebody who teaches other people to sing. They'll watch like Jeff Tate of Queensryche or something and talk about, wow, what an amazing voice. You watch like these incredible guitar players that even if you're not into guitar that you've heard of, watch Nuno Betancourt play a solo or something, and guys like Brian May of Queen will go, I don't even know how he does that. How do you do something like
Even
that?
living legend guitar players, when they hear Nuno,
they watch
hear
him
him
play.
cook or watch him play, they say, we don't get it.
Yeah, how does a guy do that? But back to your question, Cher comes to mind. What a wonderful actress and singer.
She is a good actress.
She's awesome.
Actor, actress. Absolutely.
I mean,
I dig her in that movie Mask.
Oh, yeah, she's awesome in that.
Right.
And so hot and so loving and so talented.
You've always been a Cher fan.
Big fan. Saw
she
in
can
concert.
act,
Yeah.
absolutely. She's very funny in that movie Stuck Upon You.
Yes, she's great. Now
you said you had a few in mind.
Yeah, quite a few. And I don't know
Keep going.
how loosey-goosey we can get with some of these, but I'm going to say if they put out albums, we'll count them as a musician. And if they've been known to be a musician. Bruce Willis, I'm going to call.
No, you can't count him.
He put out albums as Bruno. Did you know he was a musician? You knew, didn't you?
I did.
Please stop.
That counts.
No, we don't count that.
Well, because the list isn't long. Okay, then what about Harry Connick Jr.?
Yeah,
that works.
I think he's
absolutely.
great.
He's a musician. Bruce Willis, it was no better than your average Friday karaoke night.
I think if he put out a couple albums and he's known as a musician on the side.
I think you're stretching it big time because you love Bruce Willis. He was never a legitimate musician. The guy was garbage when it came to music.
Can we consider Macho Man?
No.
That's different. That's a gimmick. Russell Crowe, then, we'll have to throw that one out the window, but his band does tour. Same with Kevin Bacon.
That's an actor who's doing music. I'm talking about...
Well, some of these started as musicians, and then they got into it.
Horsing around with their friends in a garage, you know? That...
Justin Timberlake.
I'll count him.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
He is a good actor.
Not necessarily a good person, it seems, but Will Smith.
Yeah.
Put him on.
I mean, I had a high school rock band. Do you call me a musician? Hell no. That's why.
These guys released albums, toured.
Well, only because they were famous actors did they release albums and
some
toured.
of them beforehand is what I'm saying.
Who?
So, like Hugh Laurie. I'll put Hugh Laurie on there, one of the greatest television stars of all time.
I don't know that guy. Musicians that can actually act.
Well, so I don't know. Can you put Mark Wahlberg on there?
Just going to bring that name up.
Yes.
But, yeah, he can be funny.
Years ago, I wouldn't have counted rap I wouldn't have called a rapper a musician. I was wrong about that. Yes, we count Marky Wahlberg because he had that rap act going.
And Ice Cube, too.
Sure, Ice Cube's a great actor.
Yeah, definitely.
Mark Wahlberg's a solid, very good actor.
LL Cool J?
I've never seen him act.
I think he's good. What about Ice-T? I've never seen him on that show, but he's been on there for a long time.
Yeah,
he's been doing it for decades. Yeah, we got to count. I mean, I'm going to trust that Ice-T's a good actor because, like you said, he's been on the same show for, 30 years?
He's great in it.
LL Cool J, I wouldn't know one damn thing he's done as an actor.
What about Jared Leto?
Yeah, I was gonna. I thought I'd be made fun of if I said that. I really like Jared Leto as a singer and an actor.
I don't know, because he kind of did both at the same time. I mean,
that Yellowstone spinoff with the country artists.
well, Dwight Yoakam, I'm just taking a guess. It's Dwight Yoakam, because he's a...
I don't think so.
Dwight Yoakam is one of the best actors you'll ever see, and he started out as a country singer, a very, very popular country singer for many years. I love that friggin' guy.
Tim
and
McGraw.
he plays one of them. I don't know. Tim McGraw's okay.
Oh,
I guess.
he was great. He was so good in that. Faith Hill, she was great too.
What show was he great in?
1883.
Oh, I think.
love that
I
show.
watched a little bit of that. I didn't think that he and his wife were very good at all.
I thought of.
Well, you like to argue. I thought he was very good. They both were very good.
What are you talking about? I didn't think they were very good. I'm not trying to start an argument.
No, I thought they were pretty good too.
Dwight Yoakam is one of the most perfect evil bastards in that movie Sling Blade. I love him.
Oh, this is a good
Never
one.
seen it.
What about Rick Springfield? I like that guy. I think he's
I don't know.
good.
Was he a very good actor?
He was pretty good.
I never saw General Hospital. Is that where you watched him, on General Hospital?
No, I've just seen him on doing well, not necessarily a cameo, but he'd be like a bit character that would be in 1 or 2 episodes.
What about Taylor Momsen? She was Cindy Lou Who, and she's in Pretty Reckless.
I mean,
she was in.
She got one role as a kid.
She was awesome in that,
Girl,
though.
too.
Yeah, she was really good in it.
Musicians who have taken a stab at acting, good and bad, is what plopped down in front of me this morning.
What about, people are saying Jennifer Lopez, and maybe that's true, but I always see Jennifer Lopez when I watch something that she does.
Yeah, it's just her, yeah.
And I'm not ripping on her.
I've seen her in a couple of things. I thought she was pretty good. I don't know.
Well, then just based on some of the criticism I've already received Steve Martin, I would consider a musician. He still tours and...
Really?
Yeah.
You'd consider him a musician?
Yeah, he's brought music into a lot of what he does.
Well, Steve Martin's awesome at everything he does. This is hilarious. People are texting in Gene Simmons. My God. Just one of the worst actors of all. Oh, God. So bad it makes you want to vomit.
How did you not say Ludacris, Dana?
Oh, I was thinking about it. Yeah, for sure. Ludacris. He's fantastic in the Fast and Furious movies. Very funny guy.
He is.
And just a cool human in general.
Oh, is he? I don't know much about him.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Straighten me out one way or the other, if you like, here. Some of these we already mentioned. Musicians that can actually act. We're starting with the ones who are given credit. People saying they actually can act. Cher, Lady Gaga. I haven't seen her act.
Oh, definitely Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Is she good?
Actress.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, really good.
I never
only
saw
know
that
of-
remake of A Star Is Born.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, and I never saw her episodes of American Horror Story, right? Isn't she on that one?
Yep.
Eminem, and they're crediting him for 8 Mile. I've seen pieces of it.
I mean,
That was a really
he
good
essentially played himself,
Right.
But he still did a very good job.
Yeah, he was
at
good.
It.
He did a great job at playing himself.
Yeah,
Sometimes people can't.
Yeah, they do mess it up. They seem forced or stiff, or they don't know how to act like themselves.
I'll tell you, Dolly Parton, absolutely. Dolly Parton, but she's great at everything. Mm-hmm. Speaking again about musicians who took a dive into acting and they were great or they were not so great. Barbra Streisand.
Sure.
Absolutely. Wonderful actress. Queen Latifah. I've seen a couple things. Yeah, she seems to know. Oh, yeah. I saw a movie once she was in. Anyway, I'll never come up with the title. She is very good.
Her real name's Dana, too, by the way.
I'm sorry?
Her real name is Dana.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that why she changed it? She didn't want the association?
Yeah.
A lot of people saying Jack Black.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's good.
But see,
I don't know what counts anymore.
To me, he's not enough of a musician
Really?
to be in this, how do you call it, article.
But
Tenacious D?
D is very popular.
Yeah.
They tour, release albums.
Like
That's why I
festivals?
think you're being kind of picky on some of these.
Oh, I probably am. I'm more thinking about folks who had just a full-on, all-out, one and only career for 5-10 years or so as a musician, and then went into acting.
That list is a lot shorter then.
For me, that's what I count. I didn't know. See, now this is part of what we're talking about right here. Jamie Foxx is a musician that can act.
Heck yeah.
He was a musician before he got into acting.
Well, I don't know the timeline, but he's been a musician as long as I guess I've been.
I know he was absolutely incredible as Ray Charles. Absolutely incredible. One of the greatest performances I've ever seen. I just wouldn't think of him as a musician that then decided to go into acting.
What about Meatloaf?
Oh, yeah.
I never saw him act.
He was good in Fight Club.
Oh, yeah, he was great in that.
Never saw it. Whitney Houston. God rest her soul. Now, that's a good example, in my opinion. She was singing her ass off for years and then tried acting. And they give her credit for The Bodyguard. She's dead now. I don't want to be too mean, but that movie was awful.
Oh, I like that movie.
Everyone in that movie was awful. Jennifer Hudson. Did someone say her already?
Nope.
In the movie Dreamgirls. Have you guys seen that movie, Dreamgirls?
I've heard good things.
No.
I've never even heard of it.
It's her and Beyonce and Eddie Murphy and Jamie Foxx. It's really, really, really entertaining. It really is. And I thought she was terrific. Diana Ross, Will Smith.
Yeah, I said that one.
You did?
A few people are saying, oh my God, the guy who sang Under Pressure with the guy from Queen.
David
Bowie, yeah. Mentioning him.
He became an actor?
He was in a few, he was Labyrinth.
Okay, I never saw any of his movies.
That one.
Bette Midler. Absolutely. And I'm not trying to be a deck here. Josh, I don't try to be a deck.
You don't want to be a deck.
But Prince in Purple Rain?
I've never seen that full movie. It looked kind of cheesy.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah, it's kind of bad.
Not to speak ill of the dead, but
people are giving him credit for.
Oh, you're right. That's right. I've heard that.
They're giving him credit for Purple Rain. I don't know. I mean, it's an enjoyable movie. I never thought he was much of an actor. And then here are the folks that people are picking on, saying they're bad, terrible. They were decent enough, fine musicians, but they tried acting and it was awful. Vanilla Ice.
Oh, man.
I never saw his movie.
Neither did I.
Oh, I saw it.
I had the poster.
Yeah, I did too.
Stole it from a movie rental joint. The Cool as Ice movie poster. Put it up in my bedroom. It was a big hit. Big hit. Kelly Clarkson, they say, is a musician who's a terrible actress. Do you know anything about that, Josh?
No. She was in, I think, one movie. It was From Justin to Kelly. And Justin was the guy she beat in American Idol. And it was very cheesy. And she's since talked about the fact that by winning, she was contractually obligated to be in the movie. Like, it wasn't like a passion project for her at all.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even know she ever acted.
Other folks were saying Jessica Simpson sucked at acting.
Yeah, she wasn't great.
And Ed Sheeran sucked at acting. I guess he was on an episode or two of the Game of Thrones.
I saw him in something else where I thought he was pretty funny. He played a douchebag.
Yeah, what was that?
Wasn't he like a womanizing douchebag?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty good in that.
We can keep going.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Go ahead. Make my day.
On 93X.
My ass is killing me. I forgot to sit on the hemorrhoid donut until just now. That thing's comfortable. Oh, my ass just kills me by the end of the broadcast, but I already complained about that last week. Musicians who can actually act. That's what we've been rapping about. Musicians who can actually act. A lot of them want to try it out. How many of them are any good? Here are the musicians that can act, according to our listeners. Reba.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I've never seen her do it.
No, me neither.
What would be a movie she was in or a show?
She was on that Reba McEntire show.
The Reba McEntire show.
I haven't seen it.
I think it's just called Reba.
Yeah.
Like a scripted show or?
Yep.
Oh.
What was the setup?
It was like a sitcom.
Was she like a crackhead or something?
She was
with
a mom.
Real deep role?
Was she herself?
Yes.
She was.
Oh.
Wasn't she in Tremors, too?
Yeah.
I never saw it.
Oh, wow.
Well, you mean Tremors Part 2 or Tremors Also?
Tremors also.
Yeah. Kenny Rogers. I loved Kenny Rogers as a singer. I saw a couple of his movies. Woof.
Not good.
Have you?
Chris Christopherson's a great answer. Musicians who went on to try acting and knocked it out of the park. Chris, by damn, Christopherson. Yes, Ashley, you had a question?
Yeah, I was going to ask Josh, because I know you like to watch a lot of TV like I do. Have you seen Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the TV show?
I watched the first episode and I had a little trouble getting into it.
Okay, so I really enjoyed it, but that's Donald Glover. He's Childish Gambino. He's a rapper, and I love his music career, and I love him as an actor.
Oh, yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah. The TV show Atlanta is absolutely fantastic.
Yup, or he's in Community too.
Mm-hmm.
Is he related to Danny and Corey Glover?
No.
Oh.
No relation.
Does Miley Cyrus count?
No.
No.
Mick Jagger. Anyone seen him act?
No.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, probably because he's terrible. Johnny Cash. Yeah, I saw a couple of his movies. He did all right.
This name might not mean much to the rest of you because I know you've never seen Sopranos. Am I right? Am I the only one here that's watched The
Little
Sopranos?
Steven Van Zandt.
Yes, absolutely. He had never acted before. Longtime rock musician, member of the E Street Band, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer. The creator of The Sopranos, David Chase, actually saw him induct the Rascals into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and said, hey, I kind of like that guy's vibe.
You got any background on this at all?
I'm a little bit of a nerd when it comes to things about the E Street Band. And he ended up playing the role of Silvio Dante and has acted in a bunch of shows, created shows since then, like Lilyhammer. He's fantastic.
I've heard good things.
You know, a few people have texted this in, so I'll bring it up. And actually, I agree with this. Machine Gun Kelly, he was great as Tommy Lee in The Dirt. He was good. Mm-hmm. And I was prepared to not like him. And I thought he did a really good job as Tommy Lee.
Yeah, I thought he did all right.
And I just saw him, oh gosh, it's killing me now. He was in an episode of something we were watching. He played himself, and he was great at himself.
Oh, yeah. I got to figure out what that was.
They got went to a safe room at his place.
Oh, yes. Oh, that was good.
I don't know it.
Actually.
All right, musicians who can act. I know some of you are kidding, especially the ones who wrote John Bon Jovi. Garbage actor. Saw him in a couple of things, and he was just painfully bad. Jerry Reed, absolutely great answer. What does this say? I wrote something down, and I can't read my own writing. Here's a listener that says, Willie Nelson sucked pretty bad.
Jackpot, Josh. He was in the Jackpot movie.
Oh, yeah, the Jackpot movie.
I remember watching Willie Nelson.
He was good.
I saw Willie Nelson in a movie when I was a little kid called Honeysuckle Rose. And it was about a touring band. I really do think that the entire movie was based on the song On the Road Again. And yeah, Willie wasn't very good at it. Tupac Shakur is a great answer.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Neil Diamond. I didn't know he acted.
I didn't either.
Weird Al. Of course. Weird Al. I mean, he knocked it out of the park with his first shot. The movie UHF. Mandy Moore. I don't know if anybody said Mandy Moore. Nick Jonas. You guys know who that is?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's
Jonas
a good one.
Brothers.
Of the Jonas Brothers, sure. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Harry Styles, Josh?
I haven't seen him act, but I know my stepdaughter was and probably still is in love with him.
Yeah, I've heard good things about his acting chops.
50 Cent.
He's okay.
I haven't seen him act. We mentioned Marky Wahlberg, but what about his brother Don?
Oh, yeah, he's likable enough.
Don. Madonna?
Oh, she was good in A League of Their Own.
She was good in that.
You know, I forgot about that. She did okay. Because I've seen a couple other things where she has a more prominent role. Not good.
Can't carry the picture, but you want her on the team.
To quote somebody who used to work here, not good. And then some people are mentioning Britney Spears. I saw Crossroads in the theater like the day it came out. Did anyone else see Crossroads in the theater?
Somehow I
I've never
missed
seen it.
Oh,
There's only
my
one
God.
Crossroads movie as far as I'm concerned, and it's not that one.
Now I'm gonna start to cry. I know what you're referencing. Yeah, Britney Spears should have came up with a different name for her movie. As much as I loved her movie Crossroads, did I mention I saw it in the theater the day that it came?
Yep.
The only real movie called Crossroads is Ralph Macchio and Steve Vai. Lightning Boy. Blind Dog, Fulton, Willie Brown. They met on the old Crossroads, didn't they, Josh?
They did.
Made a deal with the devil.
Well, that was tough. I'm watching The Karate Kid taking on, at the time, my favorite guitar player. And I didn't know who to cheer for.
You knew who to cheer for at the ass end when he incorporated his Juilliard lessons into his solo. Let's just take a minute and remember the movie from 1985 with Ralph Macchio called Crossroads, because it's magical.
It is so good. So good. These guys don't care. They're never going to watch it.
I don't want them to be part of it. I don't want them.
What about Olivia Newton-John, Nick?
Yeah, I forgot about her.
Yeah, Grease.
And then I think, didn't she unfortunately find a spot in one of those Look Who's Talking movies or something? or am I out of my mind?
I
don't
liked those movies.
Oh, God.
You didn't well, the first one.
With the talking baby?
Yeah.
Oh, I was so frustrated by the time that was over, I couldn't sleep that
And
night.
then they have one where the dogs could talk, too.
I never saw that.
Tell me they didn't have one where the dog could talk.
They had one where the dog could talk.
Oh, no.
What a great cast that was. John Travolta, Bruce Willis. Man.
Oh.
Kirstie Alley.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves, the talking baby routine.
It does pretty well with Super Bowl commercials, I can tell you that
The
much.
baby said something that a baby would never say. Can you guys believe it? I don't know.
Revolutionary back then.
We gotta go, Cubby.
I got one more, and you guys probably aren't going to know who this is. Well, Dana, you might, because you watch Girls 5 Eva, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Sarah Bareilles?
Oh, Sarah Bareilles.
Bareilles?
Yeah, she's very good.
Yeah, she's awesome in that. She had a single or two.
She did.
Yeah, she's very funny. A couple of shout-outs before we go. Where are my shout-outs? Oh, here they are.
There they are.
Thanks to He May Be the Captain, But I'm the Admiral, Jesus, checking in from Lake Michigan on their 8th day sailing this morning. I don't see a name for this one, but congratulations to the person who said they hit 2 years sober on Saturday. Nice work. Rice County Bushlight Jesus said happy birthday to his pops, turning 60 today. PD Midwest Jesus texted a happy 24th anniversary to his dad and stepmom. And happy birthday to Doom Playing Jesus from your wife, T. Jesus.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Standard Heating and Air is looking for an accounting administrator and customer service representatives to join their team. Learn more at standardheating.com/careers today.